After losing their sixth game in a row, the Hayes High Lady Indians will look to get back in the win column as they get set to take on their crosstown rival, the TMP Marion Monarchs, at the Bickelschmidt Sports Complex. And with that, we welcome you into today's game on this Thursday afternoon from Hayes, Kansas, along with our entire Tribe Broadcasting Network crew. I'm Hank Corsair, and Hayes High got off to a great start to this 2025 season, but have played some tough competition in these last few weeks, and now have to put some wins together late in the season to improve their standing in the WAC and the 5A West. And today they'll face their rival, who has had one of their best starts to a season ever, not just with an 18-0 record to start the season, but also having multiple double-digit wins, 6 players batting above 500, and great pitching between Bryn Riebel and Bria Windholz that has led to the Monarchs being one of just 6 undefeated teams in Kansas. But Hayes High has some players that they can use tonight, such as All-State selection Riley Dreher, who leads the team in multiple stat categories, and Jaylee Summers will get the start pitching tonight. And both teams will be looking to win and end different 6-game losing streaks. If Hayes High wins, they'll end a 6-game losing streak in this season. And if TMP wins, they'll end a 6-game losing streak in the series against Hayes High. So as Hayes High fights to get back in the top 8 of the 5A West, they'll be faced with an interesting matchup against their rival that's one of the top teams in the 2-1A class. And we'll have first pitch for you when we come back. This is Hayes High Softball on the Tribe Broadcasting Network. Hello, everyone. This is Hank Corsair, your voice of Hayes High Athletics on the Tribe Broadcasting Network. We want to thank you all for tuning in to today's game, and we also want to remind you that Tribe Broadcasting is your home for exclusive coverage of Hayes High Athletics with live video of games, team hype videos, features in the monthly news, and so much more. Plus, you can catch me throughout the year doing live play-by-play of varsity sports, including football, volleyball, and boys soccer in the fall, basketball and wrestling in the winter, baseball, softball, and girls soccer in the spring. So keep it right here with the coverage of today's game, and go Indians.
Sportsmanship is more than shaking hands before and after games. It is striving for fair play, positive behavior, and respect towards your opponent. It can also highlight the character and integrity of an athlete whether they win or lose. Therefore, it allows an athlete to develop maturity, responsibility, and perseverance while maintaining a competitive spirit. Achieving good sportsmanship is shown not only on the field or court, but also how an athlete positively treats others in everyday life. This is Shalaya Inslee from Marion High School with a message from the Kansas State High School Activities Association and the Student Advisory.
The key to a great game is sportsmanship. It is essential to show respect to your opponents, teammates, coaches, and yourself. Playing hard, being fair, and having fun is what sportsmanship is all about. Whether you win or lose, congratulate your team and opponents for their hard work and dedication. Good sportsmanship is about demonstrating integrity, fairness, and respect. Let's show the world what true sportsmanship is all about. A message from the Kansas State High School Activities Association and the Student Advisory Team and Tribe Broadcasting.
This is the dangers of littering.
Cigarette butts are the most common type of litter. Over 100,000 whales, dolphins, and turtles die annually after becoming entangled and consuming plastic. Over 1 million animals die per year due to littering. Every year, over 10 billion tons of plastic end up in the ocean. Littering, cans, broken glass, and other sharp objects can cut and hurt animals and allow diseases to infect them. Animals can mistake litter for food, often causing malnutrition or even death. Littering can destroy an animal's habitats and shorten their food supply.
Some ways you can help end littering is picking up trash in public when you see it, or just picking up in general. Let's make this world cleaner and let's end littering together.
If you wanted to shred like that guy, then you should come join Hayes High's very own guitar club. If you are interested, come hang out with us every Monday and Wednesday from 3:05 to 4:30 at room 116 with Mr. Prophet. We hope to see you there, and remember, practice till your fingers bleed.
Sportsmanship is more than shaking hands before and after games. It is striving for fair play, positive behavior, and respect towards your opponent. It can also highlight the character and integrity of an athlete whether they win or lose. Therefore, it allows an athlete to develop maturity, responsibility, and perseverance while maintaining a competitive spirit. Achieving good sportsmanship is shown not only on the field or court, but also how an athlete positively treats others in everyday life. This is Shalaya Inslee from Marion High School with a message from the Kansas State High School Activities Association and the Student Advisory.
We welcome you back to Bigglesmith Sports Complex as we are about to set here in Hays, Kansas for Hays High against TMP in today's rivalry game, one that's been pretty interesting over these last couple of years, but it's mostly been one-sided with Hays High. As we take a look at our matchup history, Hays High is 6-0 against TMP since 2021, and TMP is looking for their first win against Hays High since 2019. Getting the start on the mound tonight is number 3, Jaylee Summers, and the first pitch will be fouled off towards the TMP dugout. Our first pitch comes at 3:57 p.m. 68 degrees right now with a light breeze and a lot of clouds scattered throughout the area, 11-mile-per-hour winds. And it's an 0-1 count to Bryn Riebel, and this one is driven into left center field, and this one will bounce over the wall, and this one is gone. On the second pitch of the game, Riebel drives it into the outfield and gets a home run to start today's game. So no time wasted there for TMP as Hays High already doing a mound meeting, trying to get everything situated out. This is a TMP team that does a really good job at hitting the ball. As we mentioned in the pregame show, they have 6 different batters that average above 500. And as a team, that was another home run added this season, and now this one hit into the air, and this one's going to be dropped by the left fielder, Lauren Klein, and it's a double for Hannah Rose, the second baseman. So the third batter now up into the lineup is the shortstop, number 11, Britt Kinningsman, the Iowa Western Community College commit. And the pitch on the way. This one will be a line drive towards the TMP dugout. And it's now an 0-1 count. Take a quick look at the defensive alignment today for Hays High. In the outfield from left to right is Lauren Klein, Elise Zimmerman, and Katie Klein. Riley Dreher will be at third base, and at the shortstop position is Brinley Rupp. And this one hit into the air. It's going to drop down as the center fielder Zimmerman runs up on it. And this one will be an RBI as Hannah Rose slides in safely. And Kenningsman will be safe at second base. Three hits for TMP to start this game, now giving them 232 through 19 games this season. Now up is the third baseman, Paige Kenningsman, and this one will be fouled out of play for the 0-1 count. Taking a look at Hays High's infield again, Riley Dreher's at third base and Brinley Rupp at the shortstop position. Adelie Kippis is at second base, and at first base is number 21, Brinley Browse, and the catcher today is number 22, Avery Soliday. Pitch on the way. This one swung on and missed. 0-2 count now to Paige Kenningsman. 480 batting average this season, has 24 hits. And is another home run hitter for TMP, has 3 this season. And this one fouled out of play towards that right side. And now they'll stop play for a moment as they wait to get a ball to return to action. It'll be one of TMP's assistant coaches that throws it in. So an 0-2 count to Paige Kenningsman. On deck is Bria Winholtz, and in the hole is Addison Watson. 0-2 the count, no outs. And it's high and swung on and missed for Paige Kenningsman. First strikeout of the day for Hays High. And for Jaylee Summers, that is her 25th strikeout of the season. So now up is Bria Winholtz, an All-State honorable mention a year ago. This one high and outside for ball 1. Summers throwing the pitches a little bit high and outside to start. That's what she was aiming for against Paige Kingsman in the last at-bat where she struck her out swinging. And the pitch on the way. And this one's hit high in the air into left field. Lauren Klein will get under it, but now she'll have to run up on it, and she can't get a hold of it as this one will bounce past her. And Brett Kingsman will come home. Jaylee Summers hit is the cutoff, and she slides in safely. Another RBI double for TMP. It's their second one of the day with just one out and a 3-0 lead. So now that'll bring up number 3, Addison Watson, the right fielder. Has 18 RBIs this season and has a runner in scoring position. This one inside, and it goes off the glove of Riley Dreher over her head. And now Bria Winholz will come home. The catcher's there, but no play was made. And another double for TMP. Four nothing lead for Hayes High with just one out to start this game. As Addison Watson becomes the second Hayes High player in this game to get an RBI double. As now up is number 20, the left fielder Bryn Shope. 404 batting average for her this season. Has 12 RBIs and has scored 20 runs. 0-2 count now for her. Summers will get set, looking for her second strikeout of the day. Pitch on the way, and this one's low, and will go almost went over the barrier, and it's a foul ball. So Shope will step back into the batter's box. He's only been struck out 2 times this season, and this one will go over the head of Rupp, and another hit for TMP. Addison Watson will advance to third base, and Shope will stay put for a single. Now up is the catcher, number 23, Tegan Gottschalk. Has 12 hits this season. And has 18 RBIs this season as well. As she'll watch this one go by. The base will be stolen by Bryn Shope, and the ball got past the second baseman, and another run scores with ease for TMP. And Shope will now advance to third base, so 5-0 lead for TMP with just one out. And head coach Abby Gillen will make her way towards the circle to have a talk with Summers. And now the outfield will come in as well, so we'll step away as they talk things over. This is Hayes High Softball on the Tribe Broadcasting Network.
Attention drivers and passengers. Your safety is paramount. Buckling your seatbelt is one of the simplest and most effective ways to protect yourself on the road. In the event of a crash, seatbelts can reduce the risk of serious injury by up to 50%. So whether you're commuting to work or embarking on a long journey, make sure everyone in the vehicle is secure. Remember, seatbelts save lives. It's not just a good habit, it's the law. So click it or ticket.
So after the meeting, we return to action here in the first inning. TMP ahead with just one out, 5-0. With a runner at third base after the steal. A run would score, and Bryn Shope would go all the way to third. TMP could not ask for a better start to this game, and Tegan Gottschalk up now, swings and misses. And it's an 0-2 count. Reagan Allen is on deck, and in the hole is Bren Riebel. So Hayes High, or TMP likely going to return to the top of their order. Another one high and outside, ball one. And this is what Hayes High had to be careful about coming into this game as we take a look at TMP. They scored at least 15 runs 9 times this season. And a drop third strike will advance Tegan Gottschalk to first base. So the first baseman, Reagan Allen, now up. Has a .360 average this season. Has scored 16 runs, but only 4 RBIs, looking to increase that number. With Bryn Schoaf at third base and Tegan Gottschalk at first. Pitch on the way. And Reagan Allen showed bunt, now a steal. It will be tagged out at second base. And that was a pinch runner there for TMP. Molly Helgett came in, but a run scored there with Bryn Schoaf. And that was just the 4th time this season that a TMP base runner has been caught stealing. This one high and up there for ball 2 to Reagan Allen. No one on base, but a 6-0 TMP lead. Pitch on the way. And a swing and a miss for strike 1 to Reagan Allen. Summers delivers the pitch. This one will be fouled back for strike 2. And Summers will look to end the inning right here. In her 6th start of the season as a pitcher. The pitch on the way. And this one will be fouled out of play once again. Reagan Allen keeps the play alive. And the 6th pitch of the at-bat coming up here in a second. Summers looks at her wrist and will go into the circle. And kicks and deals. And this one will be a ground ball that goes off the glove of Riley Dreher. She made a diving play to try and get it. And this could be a double here, and it will be as Reagan Allen gets there. So TMP goes through their entire lineup here in the 1st inning. And they had 5 doubles in that stretch. Which means they now have 90 extra base hits as a team this season. And Bryn Riebel back up to bat on an 0-1 count. Had the home run to left center field to start this game, and this one will be fouled out of play behind home plate. And it'll be interesting to see how Hayes High approaches the rest of this game. In the 6-game losing streak that they're in, they've been outscored 67-14. And Riebel swings and misses at that one on the inside, 0-2 count. And the pitch on the way. Another one high and outside for ball 1. Again, Reagan Allen at second base, and on deck is Hannah Rose. And it's a 1-2 count to Riebel. Summers delivers the pitch. And this one a little bit high over the plate for ball 2. Summers gets set, pitch on the way. And it is in there for strike 3, and that'll do it for this inning, but not after some damage was done. TMP scores 6 runs after a Bryn Riebel home run to start the game, and then a bunch of doubles follow after that, and they have the lead as we go to the bottom of the 1st. This is Hayes High Softball on the Tribe Broadcasting Network.
This is the dangers of littering.
Cigarette butts are the most common type of litter. Over 100,000 whales, dolphins, and turtles die annually after becoming entangled and consuming plastic. Over 1 million animals die per year due to littering. Every year, over 10 billion tons of plastic end up in the ocean. Littering, cans, broken glass, and other sharp objects can cut and hurt animals and allow diseases to infect them. Animals can mistake litter for food, often causing malnutrition or even death. Littering can destroy an animal's habitats and shorten their food supply.
Some ways you can help end littering is picking up trash in public when you see it, or just picking up in general. Let's make this world cleaner, and let's end littering together.
Hello, everyone. This is Hank Corsair, your voice of Hayes High Athletics on the Tribe Broadcasting Network. We want to thank you all for tuning in to today's game, and we also want to remind you that Tribe Broadcasting is your home for exclusive coverage of Hayes High Athletics with live video of games, team hype videos, features in the monthly news, and so much more. Plus, you can catch me throughout the year doing live play-by-play of varsity sports, including football, volleyball, and boys soccer in the fall, basketball and wrestling in the winter, baseball, softball, and girls soccer in the spring. So keep it right here with the coverage of today's game, and go Indians. Back here at Bigglesschmidt Sports Complex as Hayes High trails TMP 6-0 after a huge first inning for the Monarchs. As we take a look back at that, they started with the Bryn Revel home run for the first run and hit of the game, and 5 more runs and 6 more hits follow after that, and they leave one stranded, which was Reagan Allen. Riley Dreher will lead off for Hayes High, facing off against Bryn Revel. And the first pitch is on the way, and this one's a line drive into left field, but Bryn Shope underneath it for out number 1. So a quick look at Hayes High's starting lineup. Riley Dreher just led it off, and now Lauren Klein up to bat. Elise Zimmerman will be in the 3 spot, and the cleanup batter is Avery Soliday. Brinley Browse is the 5th batter. After her is Lainey Becker. Jaylee Summers is batting 7th, and then rounding it out is Katie Klein and Brinley Rupp. Pitch on the way from Rupp. Low and outside for ball 1. TMP's defensive alignment in today's game. In the outfield is Bryn Shope in left field. In the center field is Addie Gottschalk, and in right field is number 3, Addison Watson. Second pitch of the at-bat on the way, and it's a line drive that will drop in front of second base, and a single there for Lauren Klein. So Hayes High gets their first hit of the game from Lauren Klein, making that her 14th hit of the season. Now Elise Zimmerman up to bat. And the pitch is on the way. And this one's pop fly into the infield. Getting under it is Hannah Rose. And she makes the play for out number 2. Now for TMP is number 22, Avery Soliday, the catcher. And looking at TMP's infield at third base is number 6, Paige Kenningsman. And her sister is at shortstop, number 11, Brooke Kenningsman. Hannah Rose is the second baseman, and number 21, Reagan Allen, will round it out. And then the catcher is number 23, Tegan Gottschalk. First pitch on the way from Revel to Soliday is a swing and a miss for strike 1. Soliday with a 5-game on-base streak looks to keep the inning alive here for Hayes High with 2 outs. Pitch on the way, and she fouls this one back behind home plate for strike 2. Brinley Browse is on deck, and in the hole is Lainey Becker. As Hayes High needs to get some runs here early to try and compete with TMP. Pitch on the way from Revel. Low and outside for ball 1. And Lauren Klein acted like she was going to take off and run for it, but she decides to stay put at first base. Revel's ready, so is Soliday. Pitch on the way. And this one will be fouled back once again. Soliday keeps the at-bat alive. Soliday finished with 2 hits, a home run, and 2 RBIs in Game 2. And now she grounds this one to the third baseman, Kenningsman, and the play is made at first base to retire the side. So Lauren Klein gets on with the single, but that's all Hayes High can do is as TMP gets 3 outs, and now we'll go back to work when we come back. This is Hayes High Softball on the Tribe Broadcasting Network.
Attention drivers and passengers. Your safety is paramount. Buckling your seatbelt is one of the simplest and most effective ways to protect yourself on the road. In the event of a crash, seatbelts can reduce the risk of serious injury by up to 50%. So whether you're commuting to work or embarking on a long journey, make sure everyone in the vehicle is secure. Remember, seatbelts save lives. It's not just a good habit, it's the law. So click it or tick it.
If you wanted to shred like that guy, then you should come join Hayes High's very own guitar club. If you are interested, come hang out with us every Monday and Wednesday from 3:05 to 4:30 at room 116 with Mr. Prophet. We hope to see you there, and remember, practice till your fingers bleed.
Back here at Bickelschmidt Sports Complex as we start the top of the second inning with TMP leading Hayes High 6-0. After TMP had a huge first inning, Hayes High could only get one on, which was Lauren Klein. And now we go to the top of the second. Leading it off is the second baseman, Hannah Rose. And in the on-deck circle is Brooke Kingsman, and Paige Kingsman is in the hole. Hannah Rose had a single on her first pitch of the game in the first inning after Bryn Riebel hit the home run. And she would get home from Brooke Kingsman with an RBI double. 0-1 count to start for Hannah Rose. Second pitch on the way. A little bit outside for ball one. Summers is set. And this one a line drive into the outfield. And Lauren Klein will chase it down at the wall. And this will be another double for the Monarchs as Hannah Rose gets the second base safely. Sixth double of the game for TMP, and it's only the second inning. That'll bring up Brooke Kingsman, who also had a double in the first inning. On an 0-1 count, she would also eventually get home. The two-time 2-1A All-State selection. It was also an MCL selection in volleyball and basketball. She'll get this one past the shortstop. And Elise Zimmerman will try to make the throw to home. And Hannah Rose gets there in plenty of time as Brooke Kingsman has her second RBI of the game. There'll be a single for Kingsman, and it's a 7-0 TMP lead. Pitch on the way from Summers. And this one's in there for strike one. Kingsman had to get back, and she does in time. Paige Kingsman batting now, struck out swinging on an 0-2 count in the first inning. This one outside once again for ball one. Pitch on the way from Summers. She leaves this one outside once again for ball two. This TMP team has batted with an average of .473 coming into today's games. And this one will be and this pitch will be fouled back. 2-2 is the count to Paige Kingsman, the third baseman. Bria Winholtz is on deck, and in the hole is Addison Watson. Two and two on the way. And this one will be fouled towards the Hayes High dugout on the ground. Sixth pitch of the at-bat coming up for Kingsman. This one will be a line drive, gets over the head of Adelie Kippis at second base. And Brooke Kingsman will make her way to third base, and she slides in safely. Another hit for the Monarchs. So Bria Winholtz now up to bat for the Monarchs. One of two All-State honorable mentions last season. And this one was in there for strike one. Winholtz had a double in the first inning, which was an RBI for Brooke Kingsman, and she has the opportunity to bring her home once again with runners at third and first. And this one will be on the ground, and it goes off the foot of Brinley Browse and making it there safely as Winholtz. So Addison Watson now up to bat. Doubled on the first pitch of her at bat. And the pitch on the way. This will be a ground ball to the shortstop Rupp. And the play is made at third base on a fielder's choice, so Watson will get there safely, get to first safely, and Paige Kenningsman got out. So the left fielder, Bryn Shope, the seventh batter in the lineup for TMP, now up with one out in the inning. She'll show bunt, and this one will be fouled back. 0-1 is the count to the left fielder. Shope singled in the first inning on an 0-2 count. Got home from a Reagan Allen RBI double. Second pitch low and outside for ball one. Summers steps back in. This one outside. 2-1 is the count. And a pop fly in the infield. Browse gets under it for the out. And it's out number 2. Tegan Gottschalk now at to bat. In the first inning on a 1-2 count, she was able to get to first safely on a drop third strike. And then would eventually get out as she was caught stealing. That's something that TMP has been very successful at this season. Entering today's games, 75 stolen bases, and they've only been caught 3 times, so that was just the 4th time this season that they've been caught stealing. As this one will be fouled out of play for an 0-2 count to the senior catcher. Summers gets set, delivers. This one's hit in the air. This one might drop into left field, and it does. As Lauren Klein and Elise Zimmerman neither could get there in time. And a single for Tegan Gottschalk. Addison Watson will also advance to third base as Bria Winholtz gets home. 9-0 is the Hayes High lead here in the second inning. And Reagan Allen now up to bat. Had a double on a 2-2 count in the first inning, but would stay stranded as Bryn Riebel struck out. Summers will get set, pitch on the way. And this one will be a line drive getting over the head of Kippis. Right fielder Klein runs up on it. And an RBI single for Reagan Allen. So with 2 outs, there's runners at first and second base. And Bryn Riebel now up to bat. And it'll be a ground out to Riley Dreher to retire the side, but 4 more runs get put on the board by the Monarchs. With a bunch of RBI plays and some mistakes made by Hayes High. We'll see how the Lady Indians can respond when we come back. This is Hayes High Softball on the Tribe Broadcasting Network.
This is the dangers of littering.
Cigarette butts are the most common type of litter. Over 100,000 whales, dolphins, and turtles die annually after becoming entangled and consuming plastic. Over 1 million animals die per year due to littering. Every year, over 10 billion tons of plastic end up in the ocean. Littering, cans, broken glass, and other sharp objects can cut and hurt animals and allow diseases to infect them. Animals can mistake litter for food, often causing malnutrition or even death. Littering can destroy an animal's habitats and shorten their food supply.
Some ways you can help end littering is picking up trash in public when you see it, or just picking up in general. Let's make this world cleaner, and let's end littering together.
Sportsmanship is more than shaking hands before and after games. It is striving for fair play, positive behavior, and respect towards your opponent. It can also highlight the character and integrity of an athlete whether they win or lose. Therefore, it allows an athlete to develop maturity, responsibility, and perseverance while maintaining a competitive spirit. Achieving good sportsmanship is shown not only on the field or court, but also how an athlete positively treats others in everyday life. This is Shalaya Inslee from Marion High School with a message from the Kansas State High School Activities Association and the Student Advisory.
Back here at Bigglesmith Sports Complex as TMP leads Hayes High 10-0 after getting 5 hits in that second inning. Now Hayes High having to respond and put some runs on the board with the 5, 6, 7 batters up next. And Brinley Browse will lead it off as she watches the first one bounce in the dirt for a ball. The 2-time USSSA All-State selection. Had 2 hits and 2 RBIs in Game 1 against Great Bend in Hayes High's last games. And a 2-0 count now. Laney Becker is on deck, and in the hole is Jaylee Summers. The All-State honorable mention, Bryn Riebel, will stay in the circle pitching. And she gets that one low and in there for strike 1. Only threw 9 pitches in the first inning and only faced 4 batters. And this one will be fouled off. 2-2 is the count to Browse. And Riebel gets set, delivers. And this will be fouled off. Hard ground ball towards third base. And Riebel gets set. Pitch on the way. And this one's fouled back. 6 pitches now in the at-bat for Brinley Browse. Bryn Riebel looking for her team high 58th strikeout of the season. And has a 10-0 record this season as well. This one is low and inside. Full count now to Brinley Browse. Hayes High needing some momentum, hoping to get the leadoff batter on. The pitch on the way. This one's a line drive into left field. Running back is Shope, and she'll watch it go over, and this one is out of here. Brinley Browse with the first home run of the game and the first run of the game for Hayes High. And the 5th home run of the season for the Indians. And we knew Hayes High had to build a little bit of momentum just to try to fight their way back into this game. Getting a home run works too as they have their first run of the game. And Laney Becker now at to bat. She is the designated player in today's game. Got on base 5 times in the 2 games against Great Bend. And she starts off with a 1-0 count as Riebel delivers the second pitch. Low, but they'll call it a strike. 1-1 is the count. Again, our score 10-1 is the TMP lead here in the bottom of the second inning. And Riebel delivers. This one will be fouled out of play. And it's a 1-2 count now to Becker. So they'll wait for someone to retrieve the ball. Jaylee Summers is on deck for Hayes High. In the hole is the right fielder, Katie Klein. 1-2 is the count. Hayes High looking to get another runner on. Pitch on the way. Swing and a miss. 4 strike 3 to Laney Becker. The pitch was high and inside, but she took a swing at it. And now that'll bring up Jaylee Summers, the pitcher in today's game. Has a .318 batting average this season. And the first pitch of the at-bat. A little bit high for ball 1. And Rebull sets, delivers. This one takes a bounce at home plate, ball 2. Pitch on the way now from Rebull. This one's in there for strike 1. Two and 1 the count. This one is a fly ball in the infield. Rick Kenningsman will get under it at the shortstop position, and there's out number 2. So now the right fielder and the 8th batter of the day for Hayes High, Katie Klein, will come up. Bryn Rebull delivers. And this is another fly ball in the infield, and getting under it this time is Hannah Rose for out number 3. So Brinley Browse led off the inning with a solo home run on a full count, but then 3 outs follow after that. And it's a 10-1 TMP lead going into the top of the 3rd. This is Hayes High Softball on the Tribe Broadcasting Network.
The key to a great game is sportsmanship. It is essential to show respect to your opponents, teammates, coaches, and yourself. Playing hard, being fair, and having fun is what sportsmanship is all about. Whether you win or lose, congratulate your team and opponents for their hard work and dedication. Good sportsmanship is about demonstrating integrity, fairness, and respect. Let's show the world what true sportsmanship is all about. A message from the Kansas State High School Activities Association and the Student Advisory Team and Tribe Broadcasting.
Hello, everyone. This is Hank Corsair, your voice of Hayes High Athletics on the Tribe Broadcasting Network. We want to thank you all for tuning in to today's game, and we also want to remind you that Tribe Broadcasting is your home for exclusive coverage of Hayes High Athletics with live video of games, team hype videos, features in the monthly news, and so much more. Plus, you can catch me throughout the year doing live play-by-play of varsity sports, including football, volleyball, and boys soccer in the fall, basketball and wrestling in the winter, baseball, softball, and girls soccer in the spring. So keep it right here with the coverage of today's game, and go Indians. Back here at Bigglesmith Sports Complex as Hayes High trails TMP 10-1 as we go to the top of the 3rd inning. Jaylee Summers back in the circle for Hayes High. He's thrown 53 pitches so far in this game through just 2 innings. Twice as many as TMP's Bryn Rebull so far. And she'll face off, just like the 2nd inning, she'll face off against the 2-3-4 batters. And this one a ground ball over to Riley Dreher, and there's out number 1. So for the first time today, Hayes High gets a leadoff out. And now Britt Kenningsman up to bat. Double and a single so far for her in this game. 2-time All-State selection will ground this one into foul territory past 3rd base. And an 0-1 count now to the shortstop. Paige Kenningsman, the 3rd baseman, is on deck, and in the hole is Bria Winholtz, as this one will be fouled back and out of play. It's an 0-2 count now to Britt Kingsman. The pitch. And a ground ball to Riley Dreher. She makes the play, throws it over to Browse at first base, and there's out number 2. Five-3 play, and then another 5-3 play, and 2 outs to start the inning for Hayes High's defense. And Paige Kingsman will come up to the plate now. One for 2 so far. Struck out swinging in the first inning, and in the second inning got on through a single, but would later get out at third base on a fielder's choice, and she gets this one in between the second baseman and the shortstop. And the first player in this inning to get on for TMP. Now Bria Winholtz, the designated player, will come up. 2 runs so far for her in this game. Doubled in the first inning and then reached on a first baseman error in the second. Fouls the first one off. And TMP's third base coach, Melissa Shope, will now come up to have a conversation with the umpire. And it's to make a courtesy runner change for TMP. It's number 26, Piper Simpson. So it's back to a no count. And this one will drop over the shortstop, Brindley Rupp. And another hit for TMP. Paige Kingsman will advance to third base. Winholtz stays put at first. And now Addison Watson back up. One of 3 TMP players in this game to have multiple runs. Had a double in the first inning and then reached on a fielder's choice in the second. Watches this one go by for ball 1. Summers gets set, delivers, and this one's fouled back for the first ball of the at-bat, or the first strike of the at-bat. And out here would be huge for Hayes High after giving up 10 runs in the first 2 innings. This one will be fouled back once again. 1-2 is the count. They got Bryn Shope on deck and Tegan Gottschalk in the hole. And the pitch on the way. This one's a line drive into left field. Lauren Klein runs up on it. And there is out number 3. So Hayes High was able to force 2 outs with ground balls to Riley Dreher, but then TMP would get 2 hits, but those 2 runners would stay put as that last out was made. We'll go to the bottom of the 3rd inning and see how Hayes High responds when we come back. This is Hayes High Softball on the Tribe Broadcasting Network.
This is the dangers of littering.
Cigarette butts are the most common type of litter. Over 100,000 whales, dolphins, and turtles die annually after becoming entangled and consuming plastic. Over 1 million animals die per year due to littering. Every year, over 10 billion tons of plastic end up in the ocean. Littering, cans, broken glass, and other sharp objects can cut and hurt animals and allow diseases to infect them. Animals can mistake litter for food, often causing malnutrition or even death. Littering can destroy an animal's habitats and shorten their food supply.
Some ways you can help end littering is picking up trash in public when you see it, or just picking up in general. Let's make this world cleaner and let's end littering together.
Back here at Bigglesmith Sports Complex as we go to the bottom of the 3rd inning. TMP still in front of Hayes High 10-1. And the 9-1-2 batters up here for Hayes High. The shortstop, Brindley Rupp. And she hits this one high in the air to left field. Bryn Shope running back on it. She will stop at the wall, and this one is gone. Second home run of the game for Hayes High, and they cut into the TMP lead. First home run of the season for Brindley Rupp. And for Hayes High as a team, that's their 6th of the season and 2nd of the day. And as they return to the top of the order, it's the third baseman, Riley Dreher, flew out to left field in the first inning. And the first pitch of the game from Bryn Riebel. This one will bounce in the dirt for ball 1. We'll see how Hayes High can fight back. This is a TMP team that gets off to a hot start and then tries to keep you out of the game once you try to fight back. And Riley Dreher gets the base hit to right field where Addison Watson picks it up. Now Lauren Klein up to bat. Singled in the first inning, and she would be the only player to get on base that inning for Hayes High. Elise Zimmerman on deck and Avery Soliday in the hole. Pitch on the way, and she will pull back after showing bunt. And Riley Dreher gets to second base safely in time. Fifth stolen base of the season for Riley Dreher. Has only been caught one time. And Lauren Klein will call for time and step out of the box. She shows bunt once again. Batting in the left-handed box. And this one will get past the catcher, and Riley Dreher will get to third base. So another opportunity for Hayes High to put a run on the board. Again, Klein shows bunt. And we'll pull back and watch it go by for ball 3. Huge opportunity for Hayes High if they can get another runner on, with Elise Zimmerman and Avery Soliday coming up next. For a Hayes High team that hasn't hit a lot of home runs this season, they can really bring some runs in here after already hitting 2 today. And this one in there down the middle for strike 1. And it's a 3-1 count to Lauren Klein. Lauren Klein will step out of the box once again. Bryn Riebel resetting as well. And the pitch. And a hard ground ball. Britt Kingsman runs up on it, makes the throw to first base from her knees, and there is out number 1. But Riley Dreher does score, so Hayes High gets their 3rd run of the game. Now up is the center fielder, Elise Zimmerman. Popped out in the infield in the first inning. Riebel delivers. And another pop fly towards the second baseman. And there is out number 2. So Avery Soliday will go back up to the plate. The catcher grounded out to the third baseman, Paige Kenningsman, for the final out of the first inning. Soliday's ready, so is Riebel. Pitch on the way. It's in there for strike 1. Oh, and 1 is the count. Riebel kicks and deals. And this one's hit high in the air into right field. Watson runs up on it. But it'll be Hannah Rose got under it and then dropped the ball. So Avery Soliday will reach on a second baseman error. So Brindley Browse back up to the plate. Hit a leadoff home run in the second inning. And we'll look to do it again, this time with a runner on. Rabel delivers the pitch. Outside for ball one. One 0 the count as Rebel delivers. And this one is fouled back. It'll be a 1-1 count. Sprouse looks to get on base once again. And she swings and misses at that one as it was low for the 1-2 count now. Pitch on the way from Rebel. And is outside, and it's a swing and a miss for strike three. And that will bring it into the inning. But Hayes High gets 2 more runs onto the scoreboard with Brindley Rupp having a leadoff home run, and then Riley Dreher reaching after hitting a single on the next at bat. And we go to the top of the fourth when we come back. This is Hayes High Softball on the Tribe Broadcasting Network.
Attention drivers and passengers. Your safety is paramount. Buckling your seatbelt is one of the simplest and most effective ways to protect yourself on the road. In the event of a crash, seatbelts can reduce the risk of serious injury by up to 50%. So whether you're commuting to work or embarking on a long journey, make sure everyone in the vehicle is secure. Remember, seatbelts save lives. It's not just a good habit, it's the law. So click it or ticket.
Hello, everyone. This is Hank Corsair, your voice of Hayes High Athletics on the Tribe Broadcasting Network. We want to thank you all for tuning in to today's game, and we also want to remind you that Tribe Broadcasting is your home for exclusive coverage of Hayes High Athletics with live video of games, team hype videos, features in the monthly news, and so much more. Plus, you can catch me throughout the year doing live play-by-play of varsity sports, including football, volleyball, and boys soccer in the fall, basketball and wrestling in the winter, baseball, softball, and girls soccer in the spring. So keep it right here with the coverage of today's game, and go Indians. Back here at Bigglesmith Sports Complex as we go to the top of the fourth inning with the 7, 8, 9 batters up for TMP as they lead 10-3. Jaylee Summers still the pitcher for Hayes High. This one is hit a pop-up in the infield, and Brindley Browse will run up on it for out number 1. Second time today, Bryn Schoaf has had a fly out to Browse at first base. Now Tegan Gottschalk will come up to the plate. Has gotten on base twice today with a drop third strike in the first inning and in the second inning on a single. And she misses that one for strike 1. Reagan Allen on deck, and in the hole is Bryn Rebel. This one, a line drive, will go over the head of Riley Dreher at third base. And another single for Gottschalk. Reagan Allen, another player for the Monarchs that's reached base twice so far today. Double in the first, single in the second. Summers delivers the pitch. This one's outside for ball 1. And Tegan Gottschalk just got back to first base safely in time as Avery Soliday made the throw down to first base. But the count will stay 1-0. And the pitch will be a ground ball to Adelie Kippis at second base. She tags out the runner, and there is a double play for Hayes High. They're actually going to say that the tag made towards Tegan Gottschalk wasn't in time, so it's just 2 outs now. And the pitch on the way. This one high but in there for strike 1 to Bryn Rebel. Had the home run on the second pitch of the game in the first inning. Since then, she struck out looking and had a hit, but it would be the fielder's choice play that would end the inning. An 0-2 count now. She swings and misses. The pitch and a line drive, and Riley Dreher makes the catch at the shortstop position, and there is out number 3. Just one hit in that inning for TMP, which was Tegan Gottschalk, and that is all that they can get on. Is that we'll go to the bottom of the 4th inning. TMP still in front 10-3. This is Hayes High Softball on the Tribe Broadcasting Network.
If you wanted to shred like that guy, then you should come join Hayes High's very own guitar club. If you are interested, come hang out with us every Monday and Wednesday from 3:05 to 4:30 at room 116 with Mr. Prophet. We hope to see you there, and remember, practice till your fingers bleed.
Sportsmanship is more than shaking hands before and after games. It is striving for fair play, positive behavior, and respect towards your opponent. It can also highlight the character and integrity of an athlete whether they win or lose. Therefore, it allows an athlete to develop maturity, responsibility, and perseverance while maintaining a competitive spirit. Achieving good sportsmanship is shown not only on the field or court, but also how an athlete positively treats others in everyday life. This is Shalia Inslee from Marion High School with a message from the Kansas State High School Activities Association and the Student Advisory.
TMP just gets one hit in the 4th inning, and that's all that they can do in that inning as we go to the bottom of the 4th. Hayes High just slowly trying to fight their way back into this game after scoring no runs in the 1st. They get 1 in the 2nd and 2 in the 3rd, and they'll go 6, 7, 8 to start this 4th inning. And the pitch on the way to Laney Becker, hit high in the air to right field, but Addison Watson will get under it for the first out. And that'll bring up the pitcher, Jaylee Summers. Flew out to Brooke Kenningsman at shortstop in the 2nd inning. It's also the second time, or correction, it's the first time today Hayes High's leading off with the 6, 7, 8 batters for an inning. And this one will be a ground ball to Brooke Kenningsman. She had to run up on it, and she gets the out in time to Reagan Allen. And now Katie Klein will come up to bat. 0 for 1 on the day. Had a pop out to the second baseman, Hannah Rose. Reba will deliver. And this one's in there, but inside for strike 1. Reba will look over at the dugout and will deliver, as this one will be fouled for strike 2 of the at-bat. Oh, and 2 the count to the right fielder, Katie Klein. Brindley Rupp is on deck, and in the hole is Riley Dreher. And the pitch on the way. And a swing and a miss for strike 3, and that will retire the side. Just 5 pitches for Bryn Rebel, and that's enough to end the inning as we go to the top of the 5th. TMP in front 10-3. This is Hayes High Softball on the Tribe Broadcasting Network. Hello, everyone. This is Hank Corsair, your voice of Hayes High Athletics on the Tribe Broadcasting Network. We want to thank you all for tuning in to today's game, and we also want to remind you that Tribe Broadcasting is your home for exclusive coverage of Hayes High Athletics with live video of games, team hype videos, features in the monthly news, and so much more. Plus, you can catch me throughout the year doing live play-by-play of varsity sports, including football, volleyball, and boys soccer in the fall, basketball and wrestling in the winter, and baseball, softball, and girls soccer in the spring. So keep it right here with the coverage of today's game, and go Indians.
The key to a great game is sportsmanship. It is essential to show respect to your opponents, teammates, coaches, and yourself. Playing hard, being fair, and having fun is what sportsmanship is all about. Whether you win or lose, congratulate your team and opponents for their hard work and dedication. Good sportsmanship is about demonstrating integrity, fairness, and respect. Let's show the world what true sportsmanship is all about. A message from the Kansas State High School Activities Association and the Student Advisory Team in Tribe Broadcasting.
After just 5 pitches in the bottom of the 4th inning for Bryn Riebel, we go to the top of the 5th for TMP, with TMP ahead 10-3, and looking to extend that lead to possibly get out of here early with the win, as 3 runs would get them a run rule win. And it'll be the 2, 3, 4 batters that Jaylee Summers will be faced with. Hannah Rose up to bat. 2 doubles so far for her in this game, and this one will drop in at center field as Lauren Klein picks it up and throws it towards second base. First pitch and a single for Hannah Rose. So Britt Kinningsman now up to bat. Double, single, had a double and a single in the first 2 innings. And in that 3rd inning, she grounded out to the third baseman. And there's a throw down to first base, but it's not in time. Summers will get set, delivers. And this one is fouled back, strike 1 of the at-bat. Pitch on the way, up there for ball 2. On deck is Paige Kinningsman. In the hole is Bria Winholtz. And Kinningsman will hit this one in the air, and this will drop down between in the gap between center field and right field. And Hannah Rose will round third base, and she will come home. And this might be a triple, and it will for Britt Kinningsman. Sixth triple of the season for Kinningsman. Now tying her for the leader in that stat category with Bryn Riebel. And she has another RBI on the day. The pitch on the way is a line drive play over to Adley Kippis. It'll bounce in front of her, and the out is made, but Brooke Kinningsman will slide in safely at home. (12-3) is the TMP lead now. Again, if they can score one more run and then hold Hayes High in the bottom of the 5th inning, they will walk out of here with a run rule win. But now Bria Winholtz will face off against Summers. Ground ball over towards the left side, and this one will go to into the outfield for a single. The right fielder, Addison Watson, will come up now. 1 for 2 on the day. She's reached base twice. One of those was a double. The other one was a fielder's choice. And she has 2 runs in today's game. And this one will be popped up into foul territory. But Browse will get under it for out number 2. So Bryn Shope now up. Had a single and a run in the first inning. And she, in her last 2 at-bats, she's had a fly out twice to Brinley Browse. Pitch on the way. This one's a pop-up. And it will go towards center field, and making the play there is Lauren Klein to retire the side. So TMP gets 2 runs to start that inning, but then just 3 outs and another hit follow after that. As we go to the bottom of the 5th inning, it's TMP 12, Hayes High 3. This is Hayes High Softball on the Tribe Broadcasting Network.
This is the dangers of littering.
Cigarette butts are the most common type of litter. Over 100,000 whales, dolphins, and turtles die annually after becoming entangled and consuming plastic. Over 1 million animals die per year due to littering. Every year, over 10 billion tons of plastic end up in the ocean. Littering, cans, broken glass, and other sharp objects can cut and hurt animals and allow diseases to infect them. Animals can mistake litter for food, often causing malnutrition or even death. Littering can destroy an animal's habitats and shorten their food supply.
Some ways you can help end littering is picking up trash in public when you see it, or just picking up in general. Let's make this world cleaner and let's end littering together.
Back here at Bickelschmidt Sports Complex as we go to the bottom of the fifth inning with TMP in front of Hayes High 12-3. 9-1-2 batters for Hayes High, and leading off is Brindley Rupp. Pitch on the way. This one is fouled back for strike one. Rupp has had one at-bat in this game, which was in the third inning, where she was also the leadoff batter. And it was a home run on the first pitch, so she'll try to recreate that right here. Pitch on the way from Riebel. And this one's hit high in the air into center field. And this one will get over the wall. 2 home runs on the day for Brindley Rupp. Second home run of the game. And the second home run of the season for Rupp. So they'll have a mound meeting there for TMP and then return to action. Riley Dreher, the leadoff batter. 1 for 2 on the day. After a deja vu play right there with Brindley Rupp hitting her second home run of the day as a leadoff batter. Pitch on the way. And this one low and outside for ball one. On deck is Lauren Klein, and in the hole is Elise Zimmerman. This one also hit high in the air into center field. And this one will get over the wall. Another home run for the Lady Indians. Riley Dreher's second home run of the season. And for Hayes High, just their 8th home run of the season. They've had as many home runs in this game as they have on the season coming into today's game. But they're starting to cut into this TMP lead, which the Monarchs lead 12-5. And now Lauren Klein, the left fielder, up to bat. She's 1 for 2 on the day, singled in the first inning, and then had a ground out in the third. She'll watch this one on the inside for ball one. Bryn Riebel will look at her wrist. Delivers the pitch. It's low for ball two. Elise Zimmerman is on deck, and in the hole is Avery Soliday. This one in there for strike one. As Lauren Klein looks to get on base for the second time today. That single in the first inning means she has 3 straight games now with a hit. And now this one, a line drive over to the third baseman. And Paige Kenningsman makes the catch in time for out number 1. Now Elise Zimmerman up to the plate. Has gotten out twice in this game. Both of them have been flyouts to Hannah Rose at second base. Pitch on the way, and this one will hit her on the inside, and she will walk, and she will get the first base. Just the third time a TMP pitcher has hit a batter this season. Now Avery Soliday will come up to the plate. Reached on an error from Hannah Rose in the third inning, which was a pop fly that she was able to get under and then couldn't make the catch. Now with a runner on, we'll see how Soliday approaches this at bat. And this one will get past the catcher. as Elise Zimmerman advances to second base. Soliday with a 6-game on-base streak now after reaching on an error in the 3rd inning. And the pitch on the way from Riebel. And it's a hard ground ball getting past the shortstop, and that will bring Elise Zimmerman home, and Avery Soliday will stop at first base. Three runs here in the 5th inning for Hayes High, and we'll get a courtesy runner for Soliday. It's number 4, Rylan Davis, making this the 10th game she's played in this season as she comes in as the courtesy runner. And now with 1 out, TMP's lead has been cut down to just 6 as Browse will go up to the plate. This one low after taking a couple bounces in the dirt, and Rylan Davis will be caught stealing, and it's out number 2. One 0 is the count to Brinley Browse with 2 outs. Riebel delivers, takes a bounce before it reaches the plate, and the count will go to 2-0. And Riebel delivers the pitch, low for ball 3. As Hayes High will look to get a runner on base for the 5th time this inning. This one low, but they'll call it for strike 1. A 3-1 count from Riebel. Swing and a miss on the outside. And after being up in the count 3-0, Browse is now faced with a full count. With 2 outs, the pitch on the way. Takes a bounce in the dirt, and Browse will walk. Now batting is the designated player, Laney Becker, 0 for 2 in this game. Struck out swinging in the 2nd inning. And the 4th inning had the fly out to Addison Watson in right field. Pitch on the way. And this one also hit into right field, but this one will go out into foul territory. Pretty good hit and pretty good contact with with the ball a little bit on the outside. Oh, 1 is the count and the pitch on the way. Low and inside for ball 1. Jaylee Summers is on deck, and in the hole is Katie Klein. Pitch on the way. And this one, a ground ball that will stop just ahead of home plate. And they'll call out at first base to retire the side. But Hayes High scores 3 runs in that 5th inning with 2 home runs on the first 2 at-bats. And Elise Zimmerman would get home as well. But that will retire the side. It's a 12-6 Hayes High, or excuse me, a 12-6 TMP lead as we go to the top of the 6th inning. This is Hayes High softball on the Tribe Broadcasting Network.
The key to a great game is sportsmanship. It is essential to show respect to your opponents, teammates, coaches, and yourself. Playing hard, being fair, and having fun is what sportsmanship is all about. Whether you win or lose, congratulate your team and opponents for their hard work and dedication. Good sportsmanship is about demonstrating integrity, fairness, and respect. Let's show the world what true sportsmanship is all about. A message from the Kansas State High School Activities Association and the Student Advisory Team and Tribe Broadcasting.
If you wanted to shred like that guy, then you should come join Hayes High's very own guitar club. If you are interested, come hang out with us every Monday and Wednesday from 3:05 to 4:30 at room 116 with Mr. Prophet. We hope to see you there, and remember, practice till your fingers bleed.
Hayes High just had one of their best innings of the game with 3 runs on 3 hits and only 1 left on base, but they still trail TMP 12-6 as we go to the top of the 6th inning. 8-9-1 batters coming up for TMP. Tegan Gottschalk will lead off. The only player in this game, or correction, one of 2 players for TMP that has reached base on each of their appearances. Reached on a drop third strike in the 1st inning, a single in the 2nd inning, and a single in the 4th inning as well. Faced with an 0-1 count. Swings and misses that one. The count's now 0-2. And we'll see how Summers approaches this one. And this one low for ball 1. Two strikeouts in the game so far for Summers. And a swing and a miss for Gottschalk, and that is out number 1. I'll bring up the first baseman, Reagan Allen. Had a double and a single earlier in the game, and then on her last at-bat, got out on a 4-3 play to Adelaide Kippis at second base. The pitch, low and inside for ball 1. Pitch on the way. This one's a line drive, and it'll bounce in front of Riley Dreher, but the throw a little bit too high over to first base. And Reagan Allen will reach on an error and then go to second base. So that will now return TMP to the top of the order for the 5th time in today's game, with Bryn Riebel. Had the home run in the 1st inning, but has gotten out 2 times after that, and had a fielder's choice that would end up being the 3rd out of the inning. And she pops this one up into the air. The outfield runs up on it, and there's out number 2. And it's made by number 18, Katie Klein. Two outs now for TMP with 1 runner on. And that'll bring up Hannah Rose. 3 for 4 for her in today's game. Batting from the right-handed box. Pitch on the way, swing and a miss for strike 1. Summers gets set, delivers, and Hannah Rose will watch this one go by for ball 1. Pitch. This one will be popped up into the air, and it will bounce out of play. It'll be a 1-2 count to Hannah Rose, the second baseman. Already gotten on base 3 times in today's game. And the pitch is high, and it will be called for ball 2. Pitch from Summers, popped up behind home plate. Avery Soliday will get under it, and there's out number 3. So only 1 runner gets on for TMP. It's Reagan Allen through a shortstop error, but no runs were scored, and we'll go to the bottom of the 6th with TMP still in front, 12-6. This is Hayes High softball on the Tribe Broadcasting Network. Hello, everyone. This is Hank Corsair, your voice of Hayes High Athletics on the Tribe Broadcasting Network. We want to thank you all for tuning in to today's game, and we also want to remind you that Tribe Broadcasting is your home for exclusive coverage of Hayes High Athletics with live video of games, team hype videos, features in the monthly news, and so much more. Plus, you can catch me throughout the year doing live play-by-play of varsity sports, including football, volleyball, and boys soccer in the fall, basketball and wrestling in the winter, baseball, softball, and girls soccer in the spring. So keep it right here with the coverage of today's game, and go Indians.
Attention drivers and passengers. Your safety is paramount. Buckling your seatbelt is one of the simplest and most effective ways to protect yourself on the road. In the event of a crash, seatbelts can reduce the risk of serious injury by up to 50%. So whether you're commuting to work or embarking on a long journey, make sure everyone in the vehicle is secure. Remember, seatbelts save lives. It's not just a good habit, it's the law. So click it or ticket.
So after holding TMP to 0 hits in an inning for the first time today, Hayes High will have the 7, 8, 9 batters up here in the bottom of the 6th inning. 1-0 count to Jaylee Summers with Bryn Riebel still in the circle. He's done a pretty good job so far, only allowing 7 hits as she delivers the pitch. It is high and up there for ball 2. And Riebel's, this season, Riebel has been the top pitcher for TMP. Entered this game with a 10-0 record, 1.11 ERA, and has only allowed 7 earned runs coming into today's game while having 57 strikeouts on the season. She just delivered the first strike of the at-bat, 2-1's the count. Pitch on the way. Down the middle for strike 2. Summers has gotten out twice so far in this game, and it's a ground ball to first base. Reagan Allen makes the play and then tags the base for the first out. Now up will be the right fielder, Katie Klein. Another player for Hayes High that's 0-2 in this game. Had a pop out at second base to Hannah Rose and then struck out swinging in the 4th inning. Pitch on the way, on the inside, but they'll call it strike 1. Riebel delivers the pitch. This one's hit high in the air. It'll bounce down between the right and center fielder. As Addison Watson picks it up, she bobbled it a little bit, but not enough time there for Klein to advance to second base, but she's the first player to get on this inning. Now up is Brinley Rupp. What a game she is having so far. 2 at-bats. Both of them have been solo home runs. First pitch of the at-bat is high for ball 1. At first base is Klein. 1-0 pitch on the way. Takes a bounce in the dirt outside for ball 2. It's a 2-0 count for Brinley Rupp. Riebel delivers the pitch. Not 100% swing, but there'll be a fielder's choice, and Katie Klein gets to second base in time safely. And it's still just 1 out. Now up is Riley Dreher with runners at first and second base. She had a home run in the 5th inning in her last at-bat. And she also singled in the 3rd inning, and she got home on that as well. So 2 runs for her in this game. Batting from the left-handed box this time. Pitch on the way, on the inside for ball 1. And we'll get a time called from Hayes High's, or TMP's head coach, Melissa Schoaf. And she'll meet with Bryn Riebel. And we'll step away for a moment as they talk things over. This is Hayes High Softball on the Tribe Broadcasting Network.
Sportsmanship is more than shaking hands before and after games. It is striving for fair play, positive behavior, and respect towards your opponent. It can also highlight the character and integrity of an athlete, whether they win or lose. Therefore, it allows an athlete to develop maturity, responsibility, and perseverance while maintaining a competitive spirit. Achieving good sportsmanship is shown not only on the field or court, but also how an athlete positively treats others in everyday life. This is Shalaya Inslee from Marion High School with a message from the Kansas State High School Activities Association and the Student Advisory.
So after the meeting, it's a 1-0 count with 1 out to Riley Dreher. Rebel delivers the pitch, and this one's fouled back for strike 1. Hayes High just trying to fight back after giving up 10 runs against TMP in the first 2 innings. Rebel delivers the 1-1. This one's outside for ball 2. Lauren Klein on deck, Elise Zimmerman in the hole. Pitch on the way. Another one outside for ball 3. Hayes High can get the bases loaded if Dreher hits a base hit or gets walked here on the 3-1 count. The pitch inside, and there is ball 4. The bases are loaded, and now up is Lauren Klein. Klein has 8 RBIs this season, is 1 for 3 on the day. This one, the first pitch is low and outside for ball 1. One 0 count, bases loaded. And a little bit outside once again, but they'll call strike 1. Elise Zimmerman is the 3rd batter. She's on deck, and Avery Soliday, the cleanup, is in the hole. With 1 out, the count is 1-1. And it's a ground ball to the pitcher, Rebel. And she'll make the play at home as the bases will stay loaded, but there's now 2 outs. Elise Zimmerman now up to the plate. Had 2 flyouts in her first 2 at-bats, and in the last inning got hit and would eventually score. This one a hard ground ball over to third base, and she bobbles the ball, and all runners will be safe, and the bases will stay loaded. The TMP lead is only 5, and now Avery Soliday up to the plate. Reached on an error in the 3rd inning and singled in the 5th. Rebel delivers the pitch. And this one's a ground ball that will be recovered by Coach Abby Gillen at third base. Rebel delivers the pitch. And Soliday will watch this one go by. The count is 1-1. Rebel will look at her wrist. And the pitch on the way. On the inside, there's ball 2. Bases loaded. And this one's hit high in the air into the outfield. They're running back for it, and it is gone. A grand slam for Avery Soliday. Ladies and gentlemen, it is a 1-point game. Hayes High trailed 12-3 going into the bottom of the 5th inning. In the bottom of the 6th inning, our score is now TMP 12, Hayes High 11. Now up is the first baseman, Brinley Browse. She has a home run already today. 1 run will tie it. Rebel delivers the pitch, and it will take a bounce in the dirt for ball 1. Rebel delivers the pitch. Outside for ball 2. Another pitch takes a bounce in the dirt. It's a 3-0 count to Brinley Browse. Walked in her last at bat, so she's 1 and 2 on the day. Rebel delivers, and it's high and up there for ball 4. The tying run is on base. And now Lainey Becker up to the plate. And this one will be a foul ball hit back for strike 1. Pitch on the way from Rebel. Again, low and outside. First ball of the at-bat to Lainey Becker. Oh, she's 0 for 3 on the day. Struck out on her first at-bat. And then followed that with a fly out and a ground out as well. And this one will be a ground ball over to Hannah Rose at second base for out number 3. So, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you're ready for the 7th inning when we come back. Hayes High scores 5 runs in the 6th inning, and it's a 1-run game. This game will be decided in the 7th inning when we come back. This is Hayes High Softball on the Tribe Broadcasting Network. Hello, everyone. This is Hank Corsair, your voice of Hayes High Athletics on the Tribe Broadcasting Network. We want to thank you all for tuning in to today's game, and we also want to remind you that Tribe Broadcasting is your home for exclusive coverage of Hayes High Athletics with live video of games, team hype videos, features in the monthly news, and so much more. Plus, you can catch me throughout the year doing live play-by-play of varsity sports, including football, volleyball, and boys soccer in the fall, basketball and wrestling in the winter, baseball, softball, and girls soccer in the spring. So keep it right here with the coverage of today's game, and go Indians.
If you wanted to shred like that guy, then you should come join Hayes High's very own guitar club. If you are interested, come hang out with us every Monday and Wednesday from 3:05 to 4:30 at room 116 with Mr. Prophet. We hope to see you there, and remember, practice till your fingers bleed.
Back here at Bigglesschmidt Sports Complex in the top of the 7th inning. TMP 12, Hayes High 11. It's the 3-4-5 batters for the Monarchs, and leading off is Brett Kinningsman with Jaylee Summers staying in the circle. She held TMP to 0 hits in the last inning, as Reagan Allen was the only one to reach on base from a shortstop error. And the first ball will be a hit over to Riley Dreher at the shortstop position, and the play is made at first base for out number 1. Now up is the third baseman, Paige Kinningsman. Struck out swinging in the first inning, had 2 singles after that, and then her last at-bat was a ground out to Adelie Kippis. This one, once again, it'll go to Riley Dreher. She'll make the throw down to first base, and there is out number 2. Two pitches, 2 6-3 plays. Now Bria Winholtz, the designated player, Has reached base in all 4 of her appearances so far, with a double, an error, and then 2 singles after that. With 2 outs, trying to give some insurance runs to TMP. This one right down the middle for strike 1. And this one will go towards the Hayside dugout, almost went into the Hayside dugout. With the foul ball, it's now an 0-2 count. Oh, and 2 pitch on the way from Summers. Hit high in the air into center field, and the play can't be made. Katie Klein reached out her glove, but couldn't quite get a hold of it. They will call that a hit. She had to run into the right center gap, and just couldn't quite get there in time. It'll be a double for Bria Winholtz. Now up is Addison Watson. Pitch on the way. Outside for ball 1. Watson scored twice in this game, but has gotten out on her last 2 at-bats. And this one will be a tipped ball that will bounce in front of home plate, and the out cannot be made as it goes out off of Browse's glove, and an error will bring Bria Winholtz home. The throw was made in time, but Brindley Browse just couldn't get a hold of it. And now that'll bring up Bryn Shope. Singled and scored in the first inning, but has gotten out on her last 3. And now Abby Gillen's going to come out to have a talk with the umpire. There might be an argument being made from Avery Soliday that the ball hit in the batter's box, and now they're going to have a discussion with the umpires. This might save Hayes High right here. It was a 1-0 count to Addison Watson, but they will call it safe, and they will say it was a fair ball to the end. So Bryn Shope steps into the batter's box for the 5th time today. And with 2 outs, the pitch on the way is in there on the outside for strike 1. Runner at first base, 0-1 count, swing and a miss. Strike 2 to Bryn Shope. And the pitch, swing and a miss, and a strikeout to end the 7th inning. So TMP does score an insurance run with Bria Winholtz, but then a strikeout from Bryn Shope will end the inning. It's a 13-11 TMP lead as we go to the final inning, and Hayes High will try to complete the comeback when we come back. This is Hayes High Softball on the Tribe Broadcasting Network.
This is the dangers of littering.
Cigarette butts are the most common type of litter. Over 100,000 whales, dolphins, and turtles die annually after becoming entangled and consuming plastic. Over 1 million animals die per year due to littering. Every year, over 10 billion tons of plastic end up in the ocean. Litter in cans, broken glass, and other sharp objects can cut and hurt animals and allow diseases to infect them. Animals can mistake litter for food, often causing malnutrition or even death. Littering can destroy an animal's habitats and shorten their food supply.
Some ways you can help end littering is picking up trash in public when you see it, or just picking up in general. Let's make this world cleaner and let's end littering together.
Back here at Bigglesschmidt Sports Complex as we go to the bottom of the 7th inning. The score is TMP 13, Hayes High 11 after a huge 6th inning for the Lady Indians. And they went through their entire lineup, so they will start the 6th inning, or start the 7th inning the same way they started the 6th inning with the 7, 8, 9 batters. And Jaylee Summers leading it off. It'll be Bryn Riebel back to the mound. Has 3 strikeouts in the game. And this one will be low, but called strike 1. In the on-deck circle is Katie Klein, and Brinley Rupp is in the hole. Pitch on the way. On the inside for ball 1. One and 1 is the count to Jaylee Summers. She's 0 for 3 on the day. And this will be foul tipped into the catcher's glove for strike 2. One and 2 count as Riebel searches for her 4th strikeout of the day. This one's outside, and it's ball 2. Two and 2 is the count. Pitch on the way. Another low pitch. This one will make it a full count at 3 and 2. The full count pitch to Summers on the way, and it is low for the walk. Katie Klein now to bat. Got on base for the first time in the game in the last inning with a single, but she would eventually get out on a fielder's choice. She is 1 for 3 on the day. She'll show bunt and then pull it back as this one goes right down the middle. And Summers will steal second base and will get there safely. It's an 0-1 count to Katie Klein. A lot of pressure for both teams in this rivalry. And this is a situation TMP isn't quite used to. They've blown out all their opponents so far this season as Klein is faced now with an 0-2 count after swinging and missing. As we have it listed here, 15 of TMP's games have been decided by double digits and 8 have been decided by 15 or more runs. And there's a swing and a miss for the strikeout for Klein. Now up is Brinley Rupp. 3 runs scored so far for her on the day. She also has 2 home runs and reached on a fielder's choice in the 6th inning. Summers is at second base. The pitch on the way is hit high in the air to left field, and the play will be made in foul territory as Summers advances to third base. It looked like it had a chance to possibly get out of the park, but the catch was made in foul territory by Bryn Shope. And now Hayes High returns to the top of the order. And they will intentionally walk Riley Dreher, as she will be at first base with 2 outs. Lauren Klein is the batter. Hayes High down by 2. The tying run is the intentionally walked Riley Dreher at first base. Riebel delivers, and it's in there for strike 1. as Riley Dreher will steal second base. All Lauren Klein needs is a good hit in the outfield. And it might, and that would make it a tie game with 2 runners in scoring position. Pitch on the way is out on the outside for ball 1. Hayes High trying to end their 6-game losing streak. TMP on the other hand trying to lose a 6-game losing streak against the Lady Indians. It's a 2-1 count now for Lauren Klein. Rebel delivers. This one is fouled back for strike 2. Now a lot of pressure on the left fielder, Lauren Klein, trying to keep the game alive. Rebel delivers the 2-2. High and inside, and now it's a full count. Elise Zimmerman is on deck, and Avery Soliday is in the hole. And the pitch is thrown outside for ball 4. And the bases are loaded. 2-run game, 2 outs. And they'll have a meeting in the circle. And Melissa Schoaf, the head coach for TMP, will come out as well. And they'll have a meeting, so we'll step away as they talk things over. This is Hayes High Softball on the Tribe Broadcasting Network.
Attention drivers and passengers. Your safety is paramount. Buckling your seatbelt is one of the simplest and most effective ways to protect yourself on the road. In the event of a crash, seatbelts can reduce the risk of serious injury by up to 50%. So whether you're commuting to work or embarking on a long journey, make sure everyone in the vehicle is secured.
So following the meeting, the bases are loaded, and the center fielder, Elise Zimmerman, comes up to the plate. With 2 outs, trying to get Hayes High the win. Rebel kicks and deals. And it's in the dirt for ball 1. Rebel delivers. And this one's down the middle for strike 1. The runner at third is Jaylee Summers. At second is Riley Dreher. And Lauren Klein just walked on a full count. 1-1 on the way. And this one's high in the air. And the right fielder, Watson, will run up on it. And the catch is made. And that will do it. Hayes High made a strong effort to try to get the comeback. But TMP gets their 19th straight win and gets their first win against Hayes High since 2019 as they win it by a final score of 13-11. And we'll have our post-game show coverage for you when we come back. This is Hayes High Softball on the Tribe Broadcasting Network. Hello, everyone. This is Hank Corsair, your voice of Hayes High Athletics on the Tribe Broadcasting Network. We want to thank you all for tuning in to today's game, and we also want to remind you that Tribe Broadcasting is your home for exclusive coverage of Hayes High Athletics with live video of games, team hype videos, features in the monthly news, and so much more. Plus, you can catch me throughout the year doing live play-by-play of varsity sports, including football, volleyball, and boys soccer in the fall, basketball and wrestling in the winter, baseball, softball, and girls soccer in the spring. So keep it right here with the coverage of today's game, and go Indians.
The key to a great game is sportsmanship. It is essential to show respect to your opponents, teammates, coaches, and yourself. Playing hard, being fair, and having fun is what sportsmanship is all about. Whether you win or lose, congratulate your team and opponents for their hard work and dedication. Good sportsmanship is about demonstrating integrity, fairness, and respect. Let's show the world what true sportsmanship is all about. A message from the Kansas State High School Activities Association and the Student Advisory Team and Tribe Broadcasting.
This is the dangers of littering.
Cigarette butts are the most common type of litter. Over 100,000 whales, dolphins, and turtles die annually after becoming entangled and consuming plastic. Over 1 million animals die per year due to littering. Every year, over 10 billion tons of plastic end up in the ocean. Littering, cans, broken glass, and other sharp objects can cut and hurt animals and allow diseases to infect them. Animals can mistake litter for food, often causing malnutrition or even death. Littering can destroy an animal's habitats and shorten their food supply.
Some ways you can help end littering is picking up trash in public when you see it, or just picking up in general. Let's make this world cleaner and let's end littering together.
If you wanted to shred like that guy, then you should come join Hayes High's very own guitar club. If you are interested, come hang out with us every Monday and Wednesday from 3:05 to 4:30 at room 116 with Mr. Prophet. We hope to see you there, and remember, practice till your fingers bleed.
Attention drivers and passengers. Your safety is paramount. Buckling your seatbelt is one of the simplest and most effective ways to protect yourself on the road. In the event of a crash, seatbelts can reduce the risk of serious injury by up to 50%. So whether you're commuting to work or embarking on a long journey, make sure everyone in the vehicle is secured. Remember, seatbelts save lives. It's not just a good habit, it's the law. So click it or ticket.
If you wanted to shred like that guy, then you should come join Hayes High's very own guitar club. If you are interested, come hang out with us every Monday and Wednesday from 3:05 to 4:30 at room 116 with Mr. Prophet. We hope to see you there, and remember, practice till your fingers bleed.
Back here at Bigglesschmidt Sports Complex on the postgame show as TMP takes the first game by a final score of 13-11, thanks to getting off to an early 12-3 lead going into the bottom of the fifth inning. And we'll take a look at our recap of today's game. TMP led off on an 0-1 count with Bryn Riebel hitting a solo home run, and then 5 more runs would follow in the first inning, all of which those players got. The first 4 those players got on through doubles, and Bryn Stope would be the lone player to get a single, and the inning would come to an end with a strikeout looking from Bryn Riebel as TMP went through their entire lineup. For Hayes High, they would only get 1 hit in the first inning from Lauren Klein, and in the second inning, the Monarchs would score 4 runs on 5 hits and leave only 1 on base, thanks to their first 2, and they were able to build momentum with Hannah Rose and Brooke Kenningsman, the 2 leadoff batters, scoring. Going into the third inning, going into the second inning, Hayes High would score their first run on a Brindley Browse home run, and then 3 more outs would follow immediately after that. Hayes High's pitching would hold TMP scoreless in the third inning, and Hayes High would get 2 runs of their own on 2 hits in the third inning, starting with a Brindley Rupp home run, and then Riley Dreher getting on through a single, and then scoring later on. The fourth inning would just be Tegan Gottschalk singling for TMP, and then 3 outs in that inning with 2 flyouts and a ground out at second base. The fourth inning was just 3 up, 3 down for the Lady Indians. The first 2 batters in the fifth inning for TMP would score. It would be Hannah Rose and Britt Kenningsman with a single and a triple. And then the fifth inning, Hayes High would score 3 runs with Brindley Rupp getting her second home run of the game, and Riley Dreher following up immediately after that with another home run. And Elise Zimmerman would score as well from an RBI after getting hit by a pitch. The 6th inning was just the 3rd inning that TMP was held scoreless. And then Hayes High would score 5 runs in the 6th inning. It started off with Brindley Rupp reaching on a fielder's choice, and then Riley Dreher walking. And after that, Lauren Klein would reach on a fielder's choice, and then Elise Zimmerman reached on an error. And Avery Soliday would hit a grand slam home run to make it a one-run game. TMP would get one insurance run in the 7th inning from Bria Windholtz getting on base, and then Addison Watson reaching base from an error. And in the 7th inning, Hayes High would get the bases loaded, but Elise Zimmerman hit a fly out to Addison Watson in right field, and TMP wins by a final score of 13-11. So we'll take a look at our individual and team numbers when we come back. This is Hayes High Softball on the Tribe Broadcasting Network. Hello, everyone. This is Hank Corsair, your voice of Hayes High Athletics on the Tribe Broadcasting Network. We want to thank you all for tuning in to today's game, and we also want to remind you that Tribe Broadcasting is your home for exclusive coverage of Hayes High Athletics with live video of games, team hype videos, features in the monthly news, and so much more. Plus, you can catch me throughout the year doing live play-by-play of varsity sports, including football, volleyball, and boys soccer in the fall, basketball and wrestling in the winter, baseball, softball, and girls soccer in the spring. So keep it right here with the coverage of today's game, and go Indians.
The key to a great game is sportsmanship. It is essential to show respect to your opponents, teammates, coaches, and yourself. Playing hard, being fair, and having fun is what sportsmanship is all about. Whether you win or lose, congratulate your team and opponents for their hard work and dedication. Good sportsmanship is about demonstrating integrity, fairness, and respect. Let's show the world what true sportsmanship is all about. A message from the Kansas State High School Activities Association and the Student Advisory Team in Tribe Broadcasting.
Attention drivers and passengers. Your safety is paramount. Buckling your seatbelt is one of the simplest and most effective ways to protect yourself on the road. In the event of a crash, seatbelts can reduce the risk of serious injury by up to 50%. So whether you're commuting to work or embarking on a long journey, make sure everyone in the vehicle is secure. Remember, seatbelts save lives. It's not just a good habit, it's the law. So click it or ticket.
If you wanted to shred like that guy, then you should come join Hayes High's very own guitar club. If you are interested, come hang out with us every Monday and Wednesday from 3:05 to 4:30 at room 116 with Mr. Prophet. We hope to see you there, and remember, practice till your fingers bleed.
We welcome you back to Bickelschmidt Sports Complex on the post-game show as TMP takes Game 1 by a final score of 13-11. We'll now take a look at our individual and team numbers. We'll start off going through Hayes High's individual numbers, looking at the pitching. Jaylee Summers pitched all 7 innings, gave up 17 hits and 13 runs. Only 5 of those were earned, though, and she had 5 strikeouts on 102 pitches. Hayes High's batting, Riley Dreher had 3 runs on 2 hits with 1 RBI. Lauren Klein had a run, a hit, and an RBI. Elise Zimmerman would score twice. Avery Soliday had a run, 2 hits, and had 5 RBIs thanks to the grand slam. And Brindley Browse had a run, a hit, and an RBI. Katie Klein finished with a hit, and then rounding it out is Brindley Rupp with 3 runs, 2 hits, and 2 RBIs. So overall, as a team, Hayes High had 11 runs, 9 hits, and 10 RBIs. For TMP, Braden Riebel had a run, a hit, and an RBI, which was her leadoff home run in the first inning. Hannah Rose had 3 runs and 2 hits. Brooke Kinningsman finished with 3 runs, 3 hits, and 3 RBIs. Paige Kinningsman had 2 hits with an RBI. Bria Windholtz finished with 3 runs, 3 hits, and 1 RBI. Addison Watson had 2 runs, 1 hit, and 1 RBI. Bryn Shope finished with a run and a hit. Tegan Gottschalk had 2 hits with 1 RBI. And Reagan Allen also had 2 hits with an RBI. So TMP finishes with 13 runs on 17 hits. And as a team, they finish with 9 RBIs. And getting the win today is Bryn Riebel, improving her record as a pitcher to 11-0. And the loss will go to Jaylee Summers, meaning she's now 3-3 this season. So that'll do it for our post-game show. We want to thank you for listening to Game 1, and we'll have Game 2 next. Stay tuned. We welcome you back to Bickelschmidt Sports Complex here in Hays, Kansas, as we're about to get set to get going in Game 2, as TMP will be looking for their 20th straight win. And meanwhile, for Hays High, we'll be trying to avoid their 8th straight loss after last game where TMP got off to an early lead of 10-1 after 2 innings. Hays High just slowly built their way back into the game to one point where it was 12-11 TMP at the end of the 6th inning, but the Monarchs pulled through by a final score of 13-11. As we're about to get set here in game number 2, as starting for Hays High in the circle is Riley Dreher, 4-4 for her this season. And she is also the team leader in strikeouts with 28. She'll start off against Bryn Riebel, as this one is down in the dirt for ball 1. First pitch of game number 2 comes at 6:11 p.m. Similar weather to what we had earlier. It's still 68 degrees out, though the wind and it's cloudy, but the wind has died down to 5 miles per hour as the pitch is in there for strike 1. Riebel had a run and a hit in the last game, which was the home run that started the game, and this one's fouled back for a 1-2 count. The rest of the lineup for TMP will be Hannah Rose in the on-deck circle, Britt Kingsman in the hole. Paige Kingsman is the cleanup batter. Bria Windholtz in the 5 spot. 6th batter tonight is the right fielder Addison Watson. And rounding it out is Bryn Shope, Piper Simpson, and Molly Helgett. So the 4th pitch will take a bounce, and it will be ball 2. Hays High's defensive alignment, along with Riley Dreher as the pitcher. In the outfield, from left to right, it will be Lauren Klein, Elise Zimmerman, and Katie Klein. Brindley Browse is at third base, and at the shortstop position is Brindley Rupp. And it's a swing and a miss on the outside as Riebel gets struck out to start the game. 29th strikeout of the season for Riley Dreher. And they'll now bring up Hannah Rose. Rounding out the infield for Hays High, it'll be Lainey Becker at the second base spot. Adelie Kippis is at first base, and Avery Soliday is once again catching. Pitch on the way. This one will take a bounce into the glove of Brindley Browse. She'll make the throw over to first base to Kippis. And there's out number 2. That'll now bring up Britt Kingsman. Had 3 runs, 3 hits, and 3 RBIs in game 1. Strong showing from the Iowa Western Community College commit, who is a 2-time 2-1A All-State selection. She hits this one high in the air to right field, but running up on it is Katie Klein, and there's out number 3. So this time it only takes 7 pitches, and it's a 3-up, 3-down inning, and we'll see what Hays High does when we come back. This is Hays High Softball on the Tribe Broadcasting Network. Hello, everyone. This is Hank Corsair, your voice of Hays High Athletics on the Tribe Broadcasting Network. We want to thank you all for tuning in to today's game, and we also want to remind you that Tribe Broadcasting is your home for exclusive coverage of Hays High Athletics with live video of games, team hype videos, features in the monthly news, and so much more. Plus, you can catch me throughout the year doing live play-by-play of varsity sports, including football, volleyball, and boys soccer in the fall, basketball and wrestling in the winter, and baseball, softball, and girls soccer in the spring. So keep it right here with the coverage of today's game, and go Indians.
Attention drivers and passengers. Your safety is paramount. Buckling your seatbelt is one of the simplest and most effective ways to protect yourself on the road. In the event of a crash, seatbelts can reduce the risk of serious injury by up to 50%. So whether you're commuting to work or embarking on a long journey, make sure everyone in the vehicle is secure. Remember, seatbelts save lives. It's not just a good habit, it's the law. So click it or ticket.
The key to a great game is sportsmanship. It is essential to show respect to your opponents, teammates, coaches, and yourself. Playing hard, being fair, and having fun is what sportsmanship is all about. Whether you win or lose, congratulate your team and opponents for their hard work and dedication. Good sportsmanship is about demonstrating integrity, fairness, and respect. Let's show the world what true sportsmanship is all about. A message from the Kansas State High School Activities Association and the Student Advisory Team and Tribe Broadcasting.
Back at Bickelschmidt Sports Complex as we go to the bottom of the first inning. After a 3-up, 3-down inning for TMP, which is almost the exact opposite of what we saw in the first game. It only takes 7 pitches for Riley Dreher to retire the side. And now she is up to bat against Bria Winholtz, making her 10th start of the season. Has pitched 40 and 2/3 innings this season and has been very successful, only allowing 11 earned runs, and has gotten 50 strikeouts this season as well. And Riley Dreher faced with a 2-0 count. Hayes High's batting lineup will be in the on-deck circle right now as Elise Zimmerman and Brindley Rupp is in the hole. Avery Soliday is the cleanup batter. Rylan Davis will be in the 5 spot. Laney Becker is the 6th batter. Brindley Browse is batting 7th. And it's a play over to first base as Nicole Shoemaker gets a hold of it, and there's out number 1. We're rounding out Hayes High's batting orders. Adelie Kippis batting 8th, and the last batter is the left fielder, Lauren Klein. So after Riley Dreher grounds out to first base on a 2-0 count, that'll bring up Elise Zimmerman, the center fielder. Scored 2 runs in the first game after getting on through an error and a hit by a pitch. And the first ball is in the dirt for ball 1. And the pitch on the way from Winholtz. Hard ground ball to shortstop, and it's Kinningsman that gets a hold of it and makes the throw over to first base for out number 2. That'll now bring up the shortstop, Brindley Rupp. Batted as the 9th batter in the previous game, but scored 3 runs and had 2 home runs. So with 2 outs, the first pitch will be high for ball 1. In the on-deck circle is Avery Soliday. And the pitch on the way. Rupp hits this one high in the air as Kingsman tries to chase it down, and she does for out number 3. Both teams just throw 7 pitches, and both have a 3-up, 3-down first inning, and we'll see what TMP does here in the top of the second when we come back. This is TMP or Hayes High Softball on the Tribe Broadcasting Network.
This is the dangers of littering.
Cigarette butts are the most common type of litter. Over 100,000 whales, dolphins, and turtles die annually after becoming entangled and consuming plastic. Over 1 million animals die per year due to littering. Every year, over 10 billion tons of plastic end up in the ocean. Littering, cans, broken glass, and other sharp objects can cut and hurt animals and allow diseases to infect them. Animals can mistake litter for food, often causing malnutrition or even death. Littering can destroy an animal's habitats and shorten their food supply.
Some ways you can help end littering is picking up trash in public when you see it, or just picking up in general. Let's make this world cleaner, and let's end littering together.
Back here at Bigglesmith Sports Complex as we go to the top of the second inning. Both teams went 3-up, 3-down, and 7 pitches in the first inning. And it's the 4, 5, 6 batters for TMP, and it starts off with the catcher, number 6, Paige Kinningsman against Riley Dreher. Paige Kinningsman batting in the cleanup spot for the 2nd straight game. Pitch on the way. It's low for ball 1. Kinningsman had 2 hits and had an RBI in the second inning where she brought home Brooke Kinningsman. And now a 1-1 count is what she's faced with. Bria Winholtz is on deck, and in the hole is Addison Watson. Riley Dreher delivers, and this one will be fouled up and out of play. 1-2 is the count. Dreher gets set and delivers the pitch, and it takes a bounce low for ball 2. Two and 2 pitch. contact is made, but it'll bounce off Kenningsman, and the count stays 2-2. Third baseman and first baseman for Hayes High take some steps up, and this one will take a bounce low, and it'll get past the catcher, and the count is now full. Seventh pitch of the at-bat coming up next. Dreher delivers, and this one is fouled back. Count will stay full at 3-2. Paige Kingsman had 24 hits coming into today's games. And she'll hit this one high in the air to right field, but it's able to be chased down by number 18, Katie Klein. And there is out number 1. That'll now bring, for TMP, that'll now bring up the catcher or the pitcher number 8, Bria Winholtz. Had 3 runs and 3 hits in game 1. And she swings and misses at the first pitch. Addison Watson is on deck. And the pitch on the way. A little bit outside for ball 1. Riley Dreher's approach early on, just leaving him low and outside. Trying to create some contact and also trying to make TMP miss some of the hits. And this one's hit, and it's a pop-up to Adela Kippis at first base, and she's under it for out number 2. I'll bring up the right fielder, Addison Watson. Scored 2 runs in the first 2 innings of game 1. And then reached base 1 other time, which was in the 7th inning on a first baseman error. And she'll hit this one into right field. And Katie Klein gets under it once again. And another 3-up, 3-down inning for TMP. Both started with a fly out from Kenningsman to Klein. Next up, it was a pop out to Kippis, and then Klein makes another play to retire the side. And Hayes High will be up to bat next. This is Hayes High Softball on the Tribe Broadcasting Network.
As athletes, we couldn't play the sports we do without officials. Officials keep the game safe, fair, and fun. Our officials work hard in the off-season to be the best they can. The best way to thank them is to show them nothing but respect and gratitude during competition. As competition starts this year, please be aware of how you are treating officials in order to have the best outcome for your season and your officials. A message from the Kansas State High School Activities Association and the Student Advisory Team in Tribe Broadcasting.
If you wanted to shred like that guy, then you should come join Hayes High's very own guitar club. If you are interested, come hang out with us every Monday and Wednesday from 3:05 to 4:30 at room 116 with Mr. Prophet. We hope to see you there, and remember, practice till your fingers bleed.
Back here at Bigglesmith Sports Complex as we go to the bottom of the 2nd inning with the 4, 5, 6 batters up for Hayes High after they force another 3-up, 3-down inning for TMP. I'll start off with Avery Soliday. Was probably played one of the biggest roles in the comeback in the last game. She only scored 1 run, but had 2 hits and batted in 5 runs, which most of them came from the grand slam in the 5th inning. Or correction, that was in the 6th inning. And she starts off with an 0-1 count, and then the second pitch is high and outside for ball 1. And the pitch on the way is high for ball 2. See if Hayes High decides to try to open it up right here, because this start to game 2 is almost the opposite of what we saw in game 1. So far, 0 runs scored in the first 2 innings of the last game. We saw 11 runs scored, and now it's a 3-1 count to Soliday. On deck is Rylan Davis. Soliday up in the count as the pitch is on the way, and it's low, but they'll say it's a strike, and now it's a full count. Full count to Soliday. Winholtz delivers, and this one is a slow chopper to first base, and the play is made in time by Nicole Shoemaker, who had to run up on it and then run back to first base to beat Soliday. And that'll now bring up Rylan Davis, the designated player, who is a courtesy runner in the last game. She's now played in 11 games this season, and she was responsible for a run in game, or she scored 1 run against Great Bend in the first game of that doubleheader. And she fouls this one off, and the count starts 0-1. With 1 out, Winholtz delivers the pitch to Davis, and the contact is made, but it will roll up to Winholtz, and there's out number 3. Or correction, there's out number 2. So with 2 down, Laney Becker will come up. The second baseman batting in the 6th spot for the second straight game. Was 0 for 4 with a strikeout, a flyout, and then 2 groundouts. And this first pitch is in there for strike 1. Winholtz will look at her wrist. And the pitch on the way. High and outside for ball 1. Pitch on the way. This one is a slow line drive, and the catch is made by Brooke Kenningsman. And another 3 up, 3 down. So we'll see what TMP does in the top of the 3rd when we come back. This is Hayes High Softball on the Tribe Broadcasting Network.
Sportsmanship is more than shaking hands before and after games. It is striving for fair play, positive behavior, and respect towards your opponent. It can also highlight the character and integrity of an athlete whether they win or lose. Therefore, it allows an athlete to develop maturity, responsibility, and perseverance while maintaining a competitive spirit. Achieving good sportsmanship is shown not only on the field or court, but also how an athlete positively treats others in everyday life. This is Shalaya Inslee from Marion High School with a message from the Kansas State High School Activities Association and the Student Advisory.
Attention drivers and passengers. Your safety is paramount. Buckling your seatbelt is one of the simplest and most effective ways to protect yourself on the road. In the event of a crash, seatbelts can reduce the risk of serious injury by up to 50%. So whether you're commuting to work or embarking on a long journey, make sure everyone in the vehicle is secured. Remember, seatbelts save lives. It's not just a good habit, it's the law. So click it or ticket.
Back here at Mickelschmidt Sports Complex as we go to the top of the 3rd inning, still no score, as both teams have had 3 up, 3 down in their first two innings each. And it'll be the 7, 8, 9 batters for TMP, and they will start off with Bryn Schoep. Had a hit and a run in the first inning, and this first one will be fouled back behind home plate. 0-1 count to start for the left fielder. On deck is Piper Simpson, and Molly Helga is in the hole. Pitch on the way from Dreher. And it's a swing and a miss for strike 2. Shope struck out in her final at-bat of the last game. This one will be hit in the air, and Klein will run up on it, but isn't able to make the play. And the first hit of the game is from Bryn Shope. And that'll bring up Piper Simpson, the designated player, making her first appearance of the day. Has a .615 batting average with 8 hits this season. As Dreher delivers the pitch, it's a ground ball right to her, and she'll throw it over to second base, and the throw is not in time to first base on the fielder's choice. So Molly Helgett now up to bat. Scored 13 runs this season, and this is the 11th game she's played in this season. Dreher delivers the pitch, and it's fouled back for strike 1. With 1 out, and the first batter is on deck. And it'll be a steal attempt from Piper Simpson, and she is safe. Hayes High's players don't think it was there in time, but they'll say Piper Simpson successfully stole. Her 5th stolen base of the season. And Helgett now faced with a 1-1 count. And she fouls this one back. Count is 1-2 to the center fielder. Runner at second base, pitch on the way. And a little bit outside, they'll say it's ball 2. Pitch on the way is fouled back, and Helgett will stay alive. Two on the way, and it's fouled back once again. It was a 2-2 count, and then Helgett fouls 2 off to stay alive here as the final batter in the lineup. Dreher delivers, takes a bounce in the dirt, then gets past the catcher Soliday, and Piper Simpson successfully moves to third base, and the count is now full. Seven pitches now in this at-bat for Molly Helgett. Dreher delivers, high and outside for ball 4, and it's a walk. And now we'll return TMP to the top of their lineup with Bryn Riebel, who struck out swinging on a 2-2 count in the first inning. In the on-deck circle is Hannah Rose and Britt Kingsman in the hole. And this one is a line drive into right field, and that's going to bring a run home for the Monarchs as Molly Helgett will move to second base. Now up is Hannah Rose. Grounded out to Brinley Browse at third base in the first inning. And the pitch. Takes a bounce inside. Both runners at second and first acted like they were going to steal but stay put. And They'll show bunt. It'll take a slow bounce in front of the plate. And Dreher looked over to third base, and there was no play that could be made. And now the bases are loaded for the Monarchs. And Brick Kenningsman is up to bat. Kenningsman had 3 RBIs in the first game. Now an opportunity to bring in some runs as she swings and misses at the first one. Oh and 1 with 1 out. Pitch on the way. Low and inside for ball 1. Molly Helget is the one at third. At second is Bryn Riebel. Hannah Rose is at first. And this one fouled back for the 1-2 count. As Kenningsman tries to keep her at bat alive and possibly bring in some runs. And she'll take a swing at this one. The shortstop runs up on it, and the play is made at home plate. On the fielder's choice, Kenningsman will advance to first base. So now Paige Kenningsman up to bat. Flew out to Katie Klein in right field in the first inning. Or correction, in the second inning. Now we'll have the bases loaded, and it's a line drive that will bounce in front of the right fielder, and it will bring in 2 runs for TMP. And it's an RBI single as both Bryn Riebel and Hannah Rose will score. And Hayes High will call time, and all the infielders will come in for a meeting. As TMP jumps out once again to the first lead of the game. Just trying to get a meeting in before it could possibly turn into something ugly. Like we saw in the first game with, as we mentioned, TMP jumped out to the 10-0 lead in the first 2 innings. But this one's only a 3-0 deficit. And now the pitcher, Bria Winholtz, will come up to bat. Popped out to Adelie Kippis at first base in the second inning on a 1-1 count. Now with 2 outs and runners at third and first, the pitch is popped up and fouled out of play for strike 1. Dreher set, winds and deals, and a little bit high for ball 1. Dreher delivers, and it'll be a stolen base from Paige Kenningsman as she'll advance to second base. And the count is now 2-1. Dreher will look at her wrist, having to deal with 2 runners in scoring position now. The pitch, swing and a miss into the glove of Soliday. And the count is 2-2 with 2 outs. The pitch from Dreher, swing and a miss, and there is out number 3. So Piper Simpson and Bryn Riebel and Hannah Rose will score in that inning as TMP takes their first lead at 3-0. And we'll have the bottom of the third, and we'll see how Hayes High responds when we come back. This is Hayes High Softball on the Tribe Broadcasting Network.
If you wanted to shred like that guy, then you should come join Hayes High's very own guitar club. If you are interested, come hang out with us every Monday and Wednesday from 3:05 to 4:30 at room 116 with Mr. Prophet. We hope to see you there, and remember, practice till your fingers bleed.
Attention drivers and passengers. Your safety is paramount. Buckling your seatbelt is one of the simplest and most effective ways to protect yourself on the road. In the event of a crash, seatbelts can reduce the risk of serious injury by up to 50%. So whether you're commuting to work or embarking on a long journey, make sure everyone in the vehicle is secure. Remember, seatbelts save lives. It's not just a good habit, it's the law. So click it or take it.
TMP scores 3 runs on 4 hits and leaves 2 on base as they take their first lead of the game here as we go to the bottom of the 3rd inning with the 7, 8, 9 batters up for Hayes High. They'll start off with Brindley Browse, the 3rd baseman wearing number 21. Had a home run in the 2nd inning of the last game and followed that up with a strikeout and 2 walks. And the pitch on the way is outside, but they'll call it strike 1. Oh, 1 pitch. And she'll take a swing at it and can't make contact as the count drops to 0-2. Catcher showing outside, and Browse takes a swing at it and misses for a strikeout. First strikeout of the game for Bria Windholtz in her 51st of the season. And now the first baseman, Natalie Kippis, will come up to bat. Played as the flex player and second baseman in the previous game. Has 2 hits, 4 RBIs, and 8 runs this season as well. And she's faced with a 1-0 count with 1 out. Pitch on the way is outside for ball 2. With 1 out, Lauren Klein is on deck. 2-0 to Kippis. Is high and outside once again for ball 3. Pitch on the way with the 3-0 count is low and outside, but they're going to say it's strike 1. As Kippis goes in search for a 3rd hit of the season. She'll take a swing at this one. It's a fly ball into right field, and Addison Watson will run up on it for out number 2. So with 2 down, that'll bring up Lauren Klein, the left fielder. She had a run, a hit, and an RBI in the previous game. Singled in the 1st inning, reached on a fielder's choice in the 6th, and then walked in the 7th, and scored her 1 run in the 6th inning. She'll call time and will step out and take a swing. And she'll be batting from the left-handed box. Pitch on the way. Is called ball 1. Maria Winholtz trying to put him low and outside because that's about where the strike zone is right now. And this one will be a fly ball, but the catch will be made by Hannah Rose. Really had to track it down all the way to her glove, and she's able to do that to retire the side of 3 straight 3-up, 3-down innings for Hayes High. And we'll see what TMP does in the 4th inning when we come back. This is Hayes High Softball on the Tribe Broadcasting Network. Hello, everyone. This is Hank Corsair, your voice of Hayes High Athletics on the Tribe Broadcasting Network. We want to thank you all for tuning in to today's game, and we also want to remind you that Tribe Broadcasting is your home for exclusive coverage of Hayes High Athletics with live video of games, team hype videos, features in the monthly news, and so much more. Plus, you can catch me throughout the year doing live play-by-play of varsity sports, including football, volleyball, and boys soccer in the fall, basketball and wrestling in the winter, baseball, softball, and girls soccer in the spring. So keep it right here with the coverage of today's game, and go Indians.
Attention drivers and passengers. Your safety is paramount. Buckling your seatbelt is one of the simplest and most effective ways to protect yourself on the road. In the event of a crash, seatbelts can reduce the risk of serious injury by up to 50%. So whether you're commuting to work or embarking on a long journey, make sure everyone in the vehicle is secure. Remember, seatbelts save lives. It's not just a good habit, it's the law. So click it or ticket.
Back here at Bickelschmidt Sports Complex after the third straight 3-up, 3-down inning for Hayes High. That'll be the 6, 7, 8 batters for TMP, and Addison Watson will lead it off as Riley Dreher returns to the circle. And Watson looking to improve from her previous at-bat where she flew out to Katie Klein in right field. Hayes High does change up the outfield from time to time. They're keeping it the same as it's a ground ball to the shortstop Rupp, and she'll throw it over to Kippis at first base for out number 1. Now Bryn Shope up to the plate. The left fielder led off the third inning and had a single but got out at second base on a fielder's choice play. As Riley Dreher will look at her wrist to decide what she wants to do. She has 2 strikeouts so far in today's game, and she fouls this one back and out of play, and it lands right into the tree. Oh, 1 with 1 out. High for ball 1 as it goes past the catcher. Dreher delivers the pitch, and it's a pop fly. Dreher calls for it, gets under it, and there's the out. That'll bring up Piper Simpson, the designated player. Reached on a fielder's choice in the third inning and would eventually score, making it the 12th run she scored this season. And the pitch is high for ball 1. Dreher delivers the 1-0. And it's a line drive into center field. Zimmerman having to run back for it. She bobbles it and falls to the ground. Did she hold on to it? Yes, she did. There is out number 3. What a catch for the center fielder, Elise Zimmerman, for a 3-up, 3-down inning. And we'll see if that carries into the 4th inning with Hayes High looking to put some runs on the board. This is Hayes High Softball on the Tribe Broadcasting Network. Hello, everyone. This is Hank Corsair, your voice of Hayes High Athletics on the Tribe Broadcasting Network. We want to thank you all for tuning in to today's game, and we also want to remind you that Tribe Broadcasting is your home for exclusive coverage of Hayes High Athletics with live video of games, team hype videos, features in the monthly news, and so much more. Plus, you can catch me throughout the year doing live play-by-play of varsity sports, including football, volleyball, and boys soccer in the fall, basketball and wrestling in the winter, baseball, softball, and girls soccer in the spring. So keep it right here with the coverage of today's game, and go Indians.
Sportsmanship is more than shaking hands before and after games. It is striving for fair play, positive behavior, and respect towards your opponent. It can also highlight the character and integrity of an athlete whether they win or lose. Therefore, it allows an athlete to develop maturity, responsibility, and perseverance while maintaining a competitive spirit. Achieving good sportsmanship is shown not only on the field or court, but also how an athlete positively treats others in everyday life. This is Shalaya Inslee from Marion High School with a message from the Kansas State High School Activities Association and the Student Advisory.
Back here at Bigglesmith Sports Complex as we go to the bottom of the 4th inning. After TMP goes 3 up, 3 down with a ground out, a pop fly to the pitcher, and then a line drive out to Elise Zimmerman in center field, which was an incredible catch that she had to chase down, bobbled in her hands for a little bit, slipped and fell on her back, and still made the catch. And now for Hayes High, they return to the top of the order with Riley Dreher, starting with a 1-0 count. She grounded out to the third baseman, Nicole Shoemaker, on a 2-0 count in the first inning. And she's now, the count's now 2-0 after that one missed high and inside. And this one will go over the head of Dreher. She had to duck down to avoid getting hit, and the count's now 3-0. Bria Winholtz is not allowed a hit or a walk yet. And this one fouled back by Dreher, out of play. Three and one on the way from Winholtz. Takes a bounce in front of the plate, and there's the walk. So that'll bring up the center fielder, Elise Zimmerman, as Riley Dreher advances on a walk to first base, the first Hayes High player to get on tonight here in game 2. And Zimmerman will show bunt and will pull back, and then Riley Dreher made it like she was going to steal and then ran back, and then the throw was very awkward. I think the catcher was trying to throw it to Britt Kenningsman at second base, but then a little bit of looking 2 directions at second and first base. It went in between the two, and Riley Dreher advances to second base. Zimmerman takes a swing at a slow chopper down the third base line. This one will go foul. Oh, and 2 the count to Zimmerman. Pitch on the way. Low and outside for ball 1. Pitch on the way is a line drive, and Britt Kenningsman makes the catch, and Riley Dreher, it gets back safe. Oh, no, they're going to call her out. Dreher thought she beat Kenningsman to second base. She was about to take off for it, but then Kenningsman made the catch. Dreher had to run back, and they're going to call her out at second base. It looks like she made it there in time, and now Gillen's going to come out and have a talk with the field umpire. And we might get an appeal from home plate. We'll see what they call. It looked like she got back safely in time because Kenningsman, she had to make a diving effort to get her out, but they will stick with the original call. It is an out at second base. A lot of Hayes High fans in disagreement with that call. But that's going to be 2 outs now after Dreher got on through the walk. So Brinley Rupp, the shortstop, now up to the plate. Had a line drive out to Britt Kenningsman in the first inning. And there's ball 1. And the on-deck circle is Avery Soliday. Pitch on the way. It is popped up and will go out of play behind home plate. And the count's now 1-1. Working with 2 outs, Winholtz delivers. High and away for ball 2. Pitch on the way to Rupp. There's a slow one that goes outside, and the count is now 3-1. And the pitch down the middle, and they'll say it was a little bit low. And there's the second walk of the inning for Hayes High. That'll now bring up the catcher, Avery Soliday. They had to quickly take off some of the padding before she went up to the plate. Was faced with a full count in her first at-bat in the second inning, which was a ground out to first base. And she swings and misses at that first one. And Brindley Rupp acting like she was going to take off for second base. She'll stay at first. And the count's 0-1. Pitch on the way. Outside for ball one. On deck is Rylan Davis in the hole. Laney Becker. Pitch high for ball two. Still seeing Brindley Rupp acting like she's going to run for second base. Haven't seen Rupp really take those attempts this season. And now it's 3-1 with that one being inside. The 3-1 pitch to Soliday. We'll take a bounce, and there is ball four. That will advance Brindley Rupp to second base, and that'll bring up the designated player, Rylan Davis. And we'll also see a courtesy runner come in for Soliday. It's number 6, Shea Augustine. A player that scored 7 runs so far this season and is also 3 for 3 on stolen bases. So there is a runner at second base, which is Brindley Rupp. So if she advances, wouldn't be surprised to see some steal attempts to try to get some momentum here for Hayes High as they trail TMP 3-0. Winholtz delivers the pitch. And it's a line drive into the gap in left and center field. This one will bounce down, and this will bring a run home. Rupp is in. Soliday will stop at third, and it's an RBI double for Rylan Davis. First RBI of the season for Davis, and a meeting called by TMP. So with 2 outs, that'll bring up Laney Becker. Had a fly out to Brick Kenningsman at the end of the second inning. This one will take a bounce long before it reaches home plate. 1-0 count to Becker. Pitch on the way. Again, takes a bounce outside, 2-0. With Brindley Browse on deck and Adderley Kippis in the hole. Hayes High just scored their first run of the game, and they have an opportunity to put 2 more on that are in scoring position. It's Soliday and Davis. This one bounces again, 3-0. Winholtz gets set. Facing the second baseman, Laney Becker. The pitch on the way. Right down the middle for strike one. Three one on the way. And Laney Becker will walk with ball four. The base is now loaded, and Melissa Schoaf will make her way out to the circle for a meeting with Bria Windholtz. So we'll step away as they talk things over.
If you wanted to shred like that guy, then you should come join Hayes High's very own guitar club. If you are interested, come hang out with us every Monday and Wednesday from 3:05 to 4:30 at room 116 with Mr. Prophet. We hope to see you there, and remember, practice till your fingers bleed.
With the bases loaded and Hayes High trailing by 2 in the bottom of the fourth inning, that'll bring up Brindley Browse. Third baseman struck out swinging on an 0-2 count in the third inning. Now an opportunity to bring some runs home. The first pitch outside and low for ball one. We're seeing Windholtz trying to throw it outside to try to get Hayes High to start swinging at it. This one, she'll throw a little bit closer, and it'll be called for strike one. The pitch is a line drive into center field. Running up on it is Molly Helget, and she will make the catch. A diving catch that she had to run up on is how out number 3 will be obtained. So Hayes High starts off the inning with 3 walks, and then a double from Ryland Davis will bring home Brindley Rupp, and all 3 other runners will remain stranded. As we go to the top of the 5th, the score is TMP 3, Hayes High 1. This is Hayes High Softball on the Tribe Broadcasting Network.
Attention drivers and passengers. Your safety is paramount. Buckling your seatbelt is one of the simplest and most effective ways to protect yourself on the road. In the event of a crash, seatbelts can reduce the risk of serious injury by up to 50%. So whether you're commuting to work or embarking on a long journey, make sure everyone in the vehicle is secure. Remember, seatbelts save lives. It's not just a good habit, it's the law. So click it or ticket.
Sportsmanship is more than shaking hands before and after games. It is striving for fair play, positive behavior, and respect towards your opponent. It can also highlight the character and integrity of an athlete whether they win or lose. Therefore, it allows an athlete to develop maturity, responsibility, and perseverance while maintaining a competitive spirit. Achieving good sportsmanship is shown not only on the field or court, but also how an athlete positively treats others in everyday life. This is Shalaya Inslee from Marion High School with a message from the Kansas State High School Activities Association and the Student Advisory.
Back here at Bigel-Schmidt Sports Complex as we go to the top of the 5th inning with the score TMP 3, Hayes High 1 after the Indians scored their first run of the game thanks to an RBI double from Ryland Davis as she brought home Brindley Rupp. And now for TMP, it's the 9-1-2 batters, and it's Molly Helget that will lead things off. She walked in the 3rd inning, but would get out on a fielder's choice at home plate. And the first pitch will be a ball. On deck is Bryn Riebel, Hannah Rose in the hole. Right down Broadway for strike one. And the pitch on the way. This will be a hard chopper to third base. Browse picks it up, throws it to Kippis at first base, and there's out number 1. And that'll now bring up Bryn Riebel. Struck out swinging on her first at bat, and then in the third inning she singled and brought home and would score the second run of the game for TMP. With one out, Dreher delivers, and it's a foul tip that goes back. Soliday didn't catch it, but it's strike one. Kippis playing up from first base. Line drive into center field. Zimmerman running back for it, and she makes the catch for out number 2. That'll now bring up Hannah Rose. The second baseman is another player that's 1 for 2 with a run. She grounded out to Browse at third base in the first inning, and then in the third inning she singled and would score from an RBI single. And this one will be fouled down the third base line just barely. And the count is 0-1. Dreher delivers the 0-1. Low for ball 1. Dreher will look at her wrist after looking towards the dugout to decide what pitch she wants to throw. And a ground ball. Browse steps in front of it, picks it up over to first base, and there is out number 3. Three up, 3 down inning for TMP, and we'll go to the bottom of the 5th inning with Hayes High trailing by 2. This is Hayes High Softball on the Tribe Broadcasting Network.
This is the dangers of littering.
Cigarette butts are the most common type of litter. Over 100,000 whales, dolphins, and turtles die annually after becoming entangled and consuming plastic. Over 1 million animals die per year due to littering. Every year, over 10 billion tons of plastic end up in the ocean. Littering, cans, broken glass, and other sharp objects can cut and hurt animals and allow diseases to infect them. Animals can mistake litter for food, often causing malnutrition or even death. Littering can destroy an animal's habitats and shorten their food supply.
Some ways you can help end littering is picking up trash in public when you see it, or just picking up in general. Let's make this world cleaner, and let's end littering together.
We all know how hard it is to play sports outside of work and school, but sometimes we forget that we're not the only ones that are taking the time outside of work and school for these sports. Coaches spend a lot of time outside of school at practices, games, and other team events to help every athlete succeed. They set things up before practice and stay after to help their athletes. So remember to thank your coaches for all the time and effort they put in to make your experience the best it can be. I'm Jeremy Winslow, and this was a message from the Kansas State High School Activities Association Student Advisory Team.
Back here at Bigglesschmidt Sports Complex in the bottom of the 5th inning. TMP leading Hayes High 3-1 with the 8-9-1 batters up for Hayes High. They'll start off with Adelie Kippis, who on a 3-1 count had a fly out to right field in the 3rd inning. Trying to get some more runners on for Hayes High. And try to cut into TMP's lead once again. They'll call ball 1. Winholtz gets set and down in the dirt for ball 2. Pitcher gets set and right down the middle for strike 1. Paige Kinney's been dropped the ball, but they'll call for strike 1. 2-1 the count, high and outside once again. It's Hayes High trying to get walked for the 5th time today. But they'll definitely take a hit as well. The pitch right down the middle for strike 2. And for just the 2nd time tonight, Hayes High, one of Hayes High's batters will be faced with a full count. The other one was Avery Soliday, who grounded out to first base. And the pitch is a foul ball that was on the ground, and it was actually going right towards first base. But the count will stay 3-2. Winholtz delivers the pitch, and it's fouled back for, and the at-bat will stay alive for Adelaide Kippis. And the umpire is going to tell her to switch the balls around. So with a full count, this will be the 8th pitch of the at bat. Kippis was faced with a 3-1 count in her previous at bat in the 3rd inning. And now the pitch is popped up and fouled out of play behind home plate. Continuing to fight and get a leadoff player on base. Something that Hayes High has only done once, and it was in the 4th inning with Riley Dreher, where she walked on a 3-1 count and made it all the way to second base. And this one was slow, and it'll take a bounce in front of home plate. Looked like there was a small error in the process on the delivery there. But Kippis is on base, and that'll bring up Lauren Klein. Klein will show bunt, pull back, and we'll show it again as the ball goes over her head, as she had to duck down, and Kippis will advance to second base. The count is 1-0 to Lauren Klein with a runner in scoring position. Hayes High has not led TMP at all in either game tonight. TMP's done a good job getting up early and shutting down Hayes High. And this one will be a hard ground ball to the pitcher as Klein will get out at first base, but Kippis will advance to third base. Now they'll return Hayes High to the top of the order for the 3rd time tonight with Riley Dreher, who grounded out in the 1st inning and walked in the 4th inning. And it looks like they're going to intentionally walk her once again, just like we saw at the end of game 1. So that'll bring up Elise Zimmerman, the center fielder. With 1 out, runners are at 1st and 3rd. Pitch on the way to Zimmerman is low, but they're going to call it strike 1 as Dreher will advance to second base. The pitcher gets set and delivers. Ground ball to second base. And the play is made at first base, but 1 run will score. Riley Dreher is at third base after Elise Zimmerman grounds out to Hannah Rose at second base. Adelaide Kippis was the one that scored, and it's a 1-run game once again. Pitch on the way. High for ball 1. Avery Soliday is on deck, and Rylan Davis is in the hole. And a little bit high and a little bit outside as this one will be called ball 2 to Brinley Rupp. She scored the first run of the game for Hayes High. She was walked on a 3-1 count, and then brought home on an RBI double from Rylan Davis. And this will be a high fly ball as the center fielder lost her balance trying to back up, but she's able to recollect herself for out number 3. Hayes High scores another run with Adelie Kippis, and they leave one runner stranded as they've cut into the TMP lead once again. And we'll go to the top of the 6th inning. This is Hayes High softball on the Tribe Broadcasting Network.
This is the dangers of littering.
Cigarette butts are the most common type of litter. Over 100,000 whales, dolphins, and turtles die annually after becoming entangled and consuming plastic. Over 1 million animals die per year due to littering. Every year, over 10 billion tons of plastic end up in the ocean. Littering, cans, broken glass, and other sharp objects can cut and hurt animals and allow diseases to infect them. Animals can mistake litter for food, often causing malnutrition or even death. Littering can destroy an animal's habitats and shorten their food supply.
Some ways you can help end littering is picking up trash in public when you see it, or just picking up in general. Let's make this world cleaner, and let's end littering together.
As athletes, we couldn't play the sports we do without officials. Officials keep the game safe, fair, and fun. Our officials work hard in the off-season to be the best they can. The best way to thank them is to show them nothing but respect and gratitude during competition. As competition starts this year, please be aware of how you are treating officials in order to have the best outcome for your season and your officials. A message from the Kansas State High School Activities Association and the Student Advisory Team in Tribe Broadcasting.
After Hayes High scores 1 run in the 5th inning, we go to the top of the 6th with TMP still in front 3-2. Riley Dreher back to the circle, having a pretty good game so far. Has gotten a lot of help from her fielders in this game. As this first hit from Kingsman will go into center field, Lee Zimmerman gets under it for out number 1. But all the innings so far for TMP except the 3rd inning where they scored 3 runs and had 4 hits. Every single inning so far has been a 3-up, 3-down inning. And that'll now bring up Paige Kingsman after Brooke Kingsman flew out to Zimmerman in center field. This will be a ground ball to shortstop. Rupp recovers it, throws it over to Kippis at first base, and there is out number 2. So I'll bring up the pitcher, Bria Winholtz. Popped out to first base in the 2nd inning, and then struck out swinging on a 2-2 count in the 3rd inning. Dreher delivers the pitch, and it's fouled back for strike 1. With 2 outs, on deck is Addison Watson, and the second pitch is low for ball 1. One and one with 2 outs. Pitch on the way is a ground ball that goes off of Riley Dreher's glove and then goes into Brindley Rupps, and then she throws it over to Kippis at first base for the 3rd out. Another 3-up, 3-down inning, and Hayes High trying to get their first lead of the day of this doubleheader. And we'll see if they can do that in the bottom of the 6th inning. This is Hayes High softball on the Tribe Broadcasting Network. Hello, everyone. This is Hank Corsair, your voice of Hayes High Athletics on the Tribe Broadcasting Network. We want to thank you all for tuning in to today's game, and we also want to remind you that Tribe Broadcasting is your home for exclusive coverage of Hayes High Athletics with live video of games, team hype videos, features in the monthly news, and so much more. Plus, you can catch me throughout the year doing live play-by-play of varsity sports, including football, volleyball, and boys soccer in the fall, basketball and wrestling in the winter, and baseball, softball, and girls soccer in the spring. So keep it right here with the coverage of today's game, and go Indians.
Attention drivers and passengers. Your safety is paramount. Buckling your seatbelt is one of the simplest and most effective ways to protect yourself on the road. In the event of a crash, seatbelts can reduce the risk of serious injury by up to 50%. So whether you're commuting to work or embarking on a long journey, make sure everyone in the vehicle is secure. Remember, seatbelts save lives. It's not just a good habit, it's the law. So click it or ticket.
Back here at Bigglesmith Sports Complex in the bottom of the 6th inning. Hayes High trailing by 1, just trying to fight back and potentially take the lead in this inning with Avery Soliday leading things off as the 4th batter. Watches the first ball go by to start the count 1-0. And the pitch on the way. It's fouled back for strike 1. Rylan Davis is on deck and Laney Becker's in the hole. One and one is the count. And a slow pitch goes down the middle, but a little bit outside for strike 2. And the pitch on the way from Winholtz. It's a roller to the pitcher. She can't quite make the play, and the throw is unable to be made in time as Avery Soliday will reach on an error. It was a slow-moving play there. It was a slow chopper to Winholtz. She lost control of the ball. It started rolling to first base, and then she just threw it to the first baseman, and it went right past her for the error. But Soliday's going to get on, and that's the tying run for Hayes High. They're also going to throw in a courtesy runner. I believe it was Shea Augustine that went over to first base now. Was used as the courtesy runner in the 4th inning when Soliday got on through a walk. Now the pitch on the way to Rylan Davis is high and up there for ball 1. First baseman runs up on it a little bit, and then another ball on the outside. It's 2-0. Winholtz delivers to Davis. A fly ball, and the left fielder will run up on it at Shope, and she makes the play for the first out. And now batting is the second baseman, number 11, Laney Becker. Walked on a 3-1 count in her previous appearance, and then in the second inning she had a line drive out to Brick Kenningsman at the shortstop position. With one out, the pitch on the way. She'll show bunt, and the third baseman will run up on it, but it hit Becker as she tried running, and that'll be strike 1. So it's one out. Brindley Browse is on deck, and in the hole is Adelie Kippis. They'll show bunt once again. The third baseman runs up on it, and the play is made in time at first base. So that'll advance Avery Soliday Shea Augustine to second base. And with 2 outs, that'll bring up Brindley Browse, the third baseman. Takes a bounce in the dirt for ball 1, and Shea Augustine able to advance to third base on a 1-0 count. The tying run is at third base for Hayes High. Pitch on the way, takes a bounce in front of the plate. 2-0 is the count to Brindley Browse, 0 for 2 in this game. Adelie Kippis is on deck, and in the hole is Lauren Klein. And Hayes High will return to the top of their order after that. A little bit outside, they'll call ball 3. We'll see where Winholtz puts this one. She's put the last 3 on the outside, and this one was a little bit more inside as Browse took a swing at it, and it will go out of play behind home plate. Three and one, the count with 2 outs. Again, Hayes High's tying run is at third base, and this will be a line drive that goes past the pitcher, and it will get into the outfield, and this game is tied up as Shea Augustine will score. An RBI single for Brindley Browse. Had an RBI in game number 2 or in game number 1. And now it's tied up for the first time in either game today. So Hayes High will put a courtesy runner in. It's number 3, Jaylee Summers, that will go as a courtesy runner for Brindley Browse, and we're going to see time called by TMP. And Melissa Schoaf will have a conversation with Bria Winholtz, and we'll step away for a moment. This is Hayes High Softball on the Tribe Broadcasting Network.
If you wanted to shred like that guy, then you should come join Hayes High's very own guitar club. If you are interested, come hang out with us every Monday and Wednesday from 3:05 to 4:30 at room 116 with Mr. Prophet. We hope to see you there, and remember, practice till your fingers bleed.
Hello, everyone. This is Hank Corsair, your voice of Hayes High Athletics on the Tribe Broadcasting Network. We want to thank you all for tuning in to today's game, and we also want to remind you that Tribe Broadcasting is your home for exclusive coverage of Hayes High Athletics with live video of games, team hype videos, features in the monthly news, and so much more. Plus, you can catch me throughout the year doing live play-by-play of varsity sports, including football, volleyball, and boys soccer in the fall, basketball and wrestling in the winter, baseball, softball, and girls soccer in the spring. So keep it right here with the coverage of today's game, and go Indians. Back here at Bickelschmidt Sports Complex, and TMP will make a pitching change. Bria Winholtz exits after throwing 5 2/3 innings, only allowing just 2 hits and 3 runs, and only 2 of those were earned. And she had 6 walks and a strikeout and 86 total pitches thrown. So with a runner on, it'll be Adelie Kippis up. She'll bunt, and the pitcher will make a play on it, and it'll go past the first baseman. She couldn't quite make the play. Rounding third is Brindley Browse, and she will come home, and she is safe. And Kippis advancing to third base, and she is safe as well. Hayes High has their first lead of the game. And now Lauren Klein up to the plate as Hayes High takes the 4-3 lead. And the first pitch to Klein will be outside for ball 1. Want to know the count with 2 outs. Another pitch thrown low, and Klein will watch it go by for ball 2. Reba will deliver. A little bit outside, but they're going to call it as strike 1. Hayes High will return to the top of their order as Lauren Klein is the last batter. And it'll be outside again, ball 3. Klein steps into the left-handed box. Pitch on the way from Riebel. And it's a high fly ball into right field. Running back is Watson. She looks up and say goodbye. Lauren Klein, a 2-run home run, puts Hayes High up by 3. And Hayes High adds on to their lead after getting it through that error play when Kippis was up to bat. Lauren Klein follows it up with a 2-run home run, which is also her first home run of the season. 3-run Hayes High lead as they return to the top of the order with Riley Dreher. First pitch is down the middle. She'll take a swing at it. Second baseman makes a play on it. And it's thrown over to first base in time for out number 3. But Hayes High has taken their first lead, not just of this game, but of this doubleheader, leading 6-3 going into the top of the 7th inning, looking for the win. We'll be right back. This is Hayes High Softball on the Tribe Broadcasting Network.
This is the dangers of littering.
Cigarette butts are the most common type of litter. Over 100,000 whales, dolphins, and turtles die annually after becoming entangled and consuming plastic. Over 1 million animals die per year due to littering. Every year, over 10 billion tons of plastic end up in the ocean. Littering, cans, broken glass, and other sharp objects can cut and hurt animals and allow diseases to infect them. Animals can mistake litter for food, often causing malnutrition or even death. Littering can destroy an animal's habitats and shorten their food supply.
Some ways you can help end littering is picking up trash in public when you see it, or just picking up in general. Let's make this world cleaner and let's end littering together.
If you wanted to shred like that guy, then you should come join Hayes High's very own guitar club. If you are interested, come hang out with us every Monday and Wednesday from 3:05 to 4:30 at room 116 with Mr. Prophet. We hope to see you there, and remember, practice till your fingers bleed.
Riley Dreher will return to the circle as we go to the top of the 7th inning. She'll be looking for her 5th win of the season and also try to become the second Hayes High player this season to get a save. She'll face the 6, 7, 8 batters for TMP. And it'll start off with Addison Watson, who's 0 for 2 in tonight's game. She swings and misses at the first pitch. Hayes High has a 6-3 lead. They trailed 2-3 going into the bottom of the 6th inning, but were able to score 4 runs with Augustine, Browse, Kippis, and Klein. And this one, a play hit over to Browse, and she'll throw it over to Kippis at first base for out number 1. And now Bryn Shope, the left fielder, up to the plate. Had a single in the 3rd inning and popped out in the 4th inning to Dreher. And the pitch on the way. This one will be a fly ball to second base, and Lainey Becker gets under it for out number 2. One more out is all Hayes High needs. And they will end their 7-game losing streak and hand TMP their first loss of the season. Dreher's set, delivers the pitch, and it's high and goes past and goes out of the glove of Soliday for ball 1. Dreher gets set, Pitch on the way. Takes a bounce in the dirt for ball 2. And the pitch on the way is high up there, swing and a miss from Piper Simpson. Has 1 run when she got on base from a fielder's choice and then flew out to center field in the 4th inning. Kippis is playing up from first base. There'll be a chopper that goes to the to second base. Becker has to run up on it. She'll make the throw over to first base in time, and there is the out, and that will do it. Hayes High wins it by a final score of 6-3, snapping the 7-game losing streak and getting their 10th win of the season. And TMP will drop to 19-1 on the year as Hayes High wins game number 2 by a final score of 6-3. And we'll have our post-game show coverage when we come back. This is Hayes High Softball on the Tribe Broadcasting Network. Hello, everyone. This is Hank Corsair, your voice of Hayes High Athletics on the Tribe Broadcasting Network. We want to thank you all for tuning in to today's game, and we also want to remind you that Tribe Broadcasting is your home for exclusive coverage of Hayes High Athletics with live video of games, team hype videos, features in the monthly news, and so much more. Plus, you can catch me throughout the year doing live play-by-play of varsity sports, including football, volleyball, and boys soccer in the fall, basketball and wrestling in the winter, baseball, softball, and girls soccer in the spring. So keep it right here with the coverage of today's game, and go Indians.
Attention drivers and passengers. Your safety is paramount. Buckling your seatbelt is one of the simplest and most effective ways to protect yourself on the road. In the event of a crash, seatbelts can reduce the risk of serious injury by up to 50%. So whether you're commuting to work or embarking on a long journey, make sure everyone in the vehicle is secure. Remember, seatbelts save lives. It's not just a good habit, it's the law. So click it or ticket.
Sportsmanship is more than shaking hands before and after games. It is striving for fair play, positive behavior, and respect towards your opponent. It can also highlight the character and integrity of an athlete whether they win or lose. Therefore, it allows an athlete to develop maturity, responsibility, and perseverance while maintaining a competitive spirit. Achieving good sportsmanship is shown not only on the field or court, but also how an athlete positively treats others in everyday life. This is Shalaya Inslee from Marion High School with a message from the Kansas State High School Activities Association and the Student Advisory.
Back here at Bigel-Schmidt Sports Complex on the post-game show as Hayes High wins it by a final score of 6-3 in a game where they had to pull away late. And we'll take a look at our recap of game number 2. Both teams in the first 2 innings went 3 up, 3 down, but in the 3rd inning, TMP would start with their 7, 8, 9 batters, and Bryn Shope would get on through a single, but would get out on a fielder's choice, and that would set up Piper Simpson, who would score the first run, and then Bryn Rebo and Hannah Rose would follow as TMP took a 3-0 lead, and Hayes High would go 3 up, 3 down once again. But for the rest of the game for TMP, it would be a 3 up, 3 down for the final innings. In the 4th inning, Hayes High would score their first run as Riley Dreher walked and would get second base but be called out on a double play with Elise Zimmerman. Brindley Rupp would walk, and she would be the first run scored for Hayes High. And as the bases got loaded, Hayes High would leave 3 stranded at the end of the 4th inning. And in the 5th inning, after TMP went 3 up, 3 down, Hayes High would score a run from Adelie Kippas. And Hayes High would leave 1 stranded once again. And in the 6th inning, Avery Soliday got on through an error. She would later get home from a Brindley Browse RBI single. Adelie Kippas reached on an error. And then Lauren Klein hit a 2-run home run to give Hayes High the 6-3 lead. And then Hayes High was able to force another 3 up, 3 down from TMP to win by a final score of 6-3. And we'll now take a look at our final individual and team numbers. We'll start off with Hayes High. Riley Dreher was walked twice. Elise Zimmerman had an RBI. Brindley Rupp finished with a run and a walk. Avery Soliday had a walk. Rylan Davis would finish with a hit and an RBI. Lainey Becker had a walk. Brindley Browse finished with a hit and an RBI. Adelie Kippas had 2 runs and a walk. And then rounding it out is Lauren Klein with a run, a hit, and 2 RBIs. Overall, Hayes High had 6 runs scored on 3 hits and had 5 RBIs with 6 walks. And for the pitching, Riley Dreher goes all 7 innings with 4 hits, 3 runs, all of which were earned, and she also had a walk with 2 strikeouts. And looking over at TMP, Bryn Riebel had a run, a hit, and an RBI. Hannah Rose goes with 1 run and a hit. Paige Kingsman finishes with a hit and 2 RBIs. Bryn Shope had 1 hit in the game. Piper Simpson would score a run in the 3rd inning. And then rounding it out is Molly Helgett, who had a walk. So TMP had 3 runs on 4 hits and also had 3 RBIs with a walk. And then looking at their pitching, Bria Winholtz goes 5 2/3 innings, only allowed 2 hits and 3 runs, which only 2 of them were earned. And she had 6 walks with a strikeout and 86 pitches. And Bryn Riebel pitched the end of the game for TMP, allowing a hit and 2 runs. And for TMP's pitching tonight, they only allowed 3 runs, or 3 hits and 6 runs, and recorded 1 strikeout and 6 walks. So that'll do it for tonight's game as TMP or Hayes High wins game number 2 by a final score of 6-3. And we'll take a look real quickly at what is up next for both teams. For Hayes High, they will be on the road on May 6th taking on Liberal, and they will also play Liberal at home on May 8th. And for the Monarchs, they don't have a schedule provided of what's up next, but TMP falls to 19-1. They win the first game by a final score of 13-11, but Hayes High rebounds in game number 2, winning by a final score of 6-3 to snap a 7-game losing streak and improving their record to 10-8 on the year. So we want to thank you all for tuning into tonight's game. I'm Hank Corsair. This has been Hayes High Softball on the Tribe Broadcasting Network. We'll see you all next time.